Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Commentary Hub's alternative audio coverage of Germany against Scotland, the first match of Euro 2024. I'm your alternative host, Nicholas Jones, and I'm delighted to have alongside me tonight Russ Vernon, Paul James, and Ethan Gardner. Before I ask Russ his opinions, I'm going to go straight to Paul and ask for the team news. Paul, good evening.
Good evening, Nick. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the European Championships hosted in Germany. Well, for Germany, they make no changes and stick with the same side that limped to a 2-1 victory over Greece at home last Friday. Scotland, they choose to make two changes. Grant Hanley is out and Ryan Porteous is in. Billy Gilmore also joins Grant Hanley on the bench and Scott McTominay takes his place. So just the two changes for Scotland. Back to you, Nick.
Right, thanks, Paul. And the first game is at the Allianz Arena in Munich, famous for Bayern Munich, of course, and is around 15 minutes from the BMW factory. The Germans are very good engineers when it comes to cars and other things. So I'm now going to ask Russ Vernon. Russ, good evening. What are your opinions? What are your opinions for both Germany and Scotland tonight?
Yes, good evening, Nick. Good evening, Paul. Good evening, Ethan. Good evening, everybody. Big game tonight in the opening game of the European Championships. Everyone will be expecting a German victory or a Germany victory tonight. However, do not count out Scotland. They've performed well in qualifying, well in the friendlies leading up to this tournament. Got some good players in their side, along with, like Paul mentioned, Scott McTominay of Manchester United in there, Andrew Robertson of Liverpool playing in there as well. Che Adams promoted with Southampton up into the Premier League, and also John McGinn of Aston Villa. So they've got some good players in the squad. But so too of Germany. But Scotland always seem to perform very, very well in some big occasions where they're not expected to do well, not expected to win. And I feel like this could be an occasion where Scotland go on to get something from this game. I'm not going to say a victory for Scotland, but don't count Scotland out from causing an upset on the opening game, because you've seen upsets happen plenty of times before, Nick, on the opening games of tournaments.
We have indeed, and for Scotland, getting through to the round of 16 will be an achievement in itself. In recent Euros they've only had one victory in the group stage. Well, the European Championship trophy being brought out into the stadium right now. Mike Harneman says it's time. 3 hearts. Summer starts here. And Media, Radio, Jingles and Gaming says summer has already started for me, Mike, and says good evening to everyone as well. Germany will be looking to right some wrongs throughout their home tournaments, crashing out at the last group stage of the World Cup, and of course losing to England in the round of 16 in the last Euros. So there'll be plenty of time to. So this will be a big opportunity to put things right. And so far, the signs for them are good. 3 wins in their recent 4 friendly matches bode well. And as for Julian Nagelsmann, the head coach, he has some big shoes to fill after Joachim Low stepping down. Can he succeed when Hansi Flick and Rudi Voller have failed? And Germany, you may remember, many people will remember, hosted the World Cup in 2006 and did really well, got through to the semi-finals. And as Ross already mentioned, Scotland amazed everyone with a 5-match winning run in their qualifying campaign. The players just about getting ready to come out onto the pitch. Andy Robertson, the Scotland captain, looking on. And the trophy still being paraded around the stadium. We're just about had the last moments of the opening. of the opening ceremony. That is now drawing to a close, and we've only got a few minutes, and we have got but a few minutes until kickoff. Mike, Media Radio Jingles and Gaming says it could be a big game for the Scots. So let's hand over to before we get to the game, we're gonna have to ask. I'm gonna go straight to our co-commentator Ethan Gardner. Ethan, what are your predictions before kickoff?
Well, I think Germany will be too strong today as hosts. Scotland put in a brave effort, but I think it's going to end 3-1 to Germany today.
Okay, and Russ, what's your final score prediction?
For me, Nick, I've been saying most of the day, I can see the Scotland potentially causing an upset. So I might have to stick with that. I'm going to say, yes, Germany may be too strong to start off with, but I think if Scotland can hold out like they've done in qualifiers, I can only see potentially Scotland nicking it late on. So I'm going to say 2-1 Scotland for me, Nick.
Okay, thanks, Russ. The players now coming out of the tunnel and onto the field of play behind the referees. So we're going to hand over to Ethan Gardner and Paul James.
Thank you, Nick. Thank you, Russ. And good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're listening from. The start of the European Championships, it begins now. And it starts in the brilliant Allianz Arena in Munich. 66,000 people crammed into this stadium for what is a fantastic atmosphere for this game. And let's begin, as usual, by starting with the starting lineups. And we're going to start with the host, Germany, who, as I mentioned earlier, are unchanged. They have Manuel Neuer in goal, Maximilian Mittelstadt, Jonathan Tah, Antonio Rudiger, Joshua Kimmich, Toni Kroos, Robert Anderlecht, Florian Wirtz, Ilkay Gundogan, he's wearing the captain's armband today, Jamal Musiala and Kai Havertz. Incidentally, it is Toni Kroos's 110th cap for Germany this evening. Congratulations to him. For Scotland, they, of course, made the two changes. Angus Gunn starts in goal with Kieran Tierney, Ryan Porteous and Jack Hendry occupying the three centre-back roles. In the wing-back positions, Andrew Robertson, the captain, and Anthony Ralston, the two central midfielders, Callum McGregor and Scott McTominay, wearing his 50th cap today for Scotland. And the front three are Ryan Christie, Shea Adams, and John McGinn. On the substitutes bench, the entire squad is allowed on there. So there's 15 substitutes for each side. Only 5 is allowed, mind you. Starting with Germany, Oliver Baumann, Marc-Andre ter Stegen, David Raum, Pascal Gross, Nicholas Füllkrug, Chris Feurich, Thomas Müller, Maximilian Bayer, Nico Schlotterbeck, Valdemar Anton, Leroy Sané, Benjamin Heinrichs, Robin Koch, Emre Can, and Dennis Undav. For Scotland, their two goalkeepers are Liam Kelly and Xander Clark. Grant Henley, Lawrence Shankland, Billy Gilmore, Liam Cooper, Stuart Armstrong, Lewis Morgan, Tommy Conway, Ryan Jack, Ross McCrory, Kenny McLean, Greg Taylor, James Forrest, and Scott McKenna. Our referee today, most of our officiating team are actually from France. The referee is Clément Turpin. He's 42 years old and he's from Moulins in France. He's joined on the line by Nicolas Dano, Benjamin Pages, and the fourth official is Francois Letexier. In VAR, it's Jerome Brissard, Willy Delayode, and the one non-Frenchman, the Italian Massimiliano Irati. So we are about a few minutes away from kickoff. These two teams have met each other 17 times in all competitions. Germany have won 8 and drawn 5 and lost 4. So, Ethan, your final thoughts before today's game. Where do you see this going?
Well, I think Germany are going to be emotional about this one. Obviously, the first opening game of their hosting tournament. You know, the likes of Toni Kroos, this is the last opportunity really for him to win this. Same with probably Manuel Neuer. So I think they'll come on strong to begin with. I think they might have too much for Scotland in the end, but Scotland are not going to be an easy team to beat. They've got a solid side put out today, so it's going to be a really interesting match to watch. And I think the first sort of half an hour is going to tell us the story, because if Scotland start well, they could really frustrate the Germans here today.
That's true, and this is the first of actually 6 games held in Munich here. Also held in Munich will be Romania and Ukraine, Slovenia and Serbia, Denmark and Serbia. There'll be 1 round of 16 game and 1 semi-final game, as the pitch is now being cleared and made ready for the 22 players. And it is really a beautiful setting. This city is absolutely beautiful. It's home to around 1.6 million people, and Munich is Germany's 3rd largest city due to its location close to the Alps and the nearby lakes. Plus the generally laid-back lifestyle of its population, Munich has been labelled with a slide ring as the most northerly city in Italy. Also, top referee Dr. Felix Breisch is Munich's ambassador for Euro 2024. The qualified lawyer oversaw Real Madrid's 4-1 win over Juventus in 2017 in the Champions League final in Cardiff. And, well, looking at Scotland's lineup, they've gone for a 3-4-2-1 with Shea Adams leading the line. Ethan, do you think this can work for Scotland? And where do you think the key battles are going to be on the field?
Well, I think in order to frustrate the Germans, it's probably the best tactic possible because they have got a solid defence in there, and but also they can get forward in numbers on the counter by the looks of their attack. They also seem to have gone for experience, with the big talking point being Billy Gilmour not starting. He's a very talented central midfielder, but perhaps not seen as experienced enough for what is a very difficult opening game away against the hosts. But if the Scottish are to get any ground on the Germans, you'd think perhaps it might be at left back. Mittelstadt obviously there for Germany tonight, but it's been a problem position for the Germans in recent tournaments, and that could be where they get at them. And also maybe the finishing of Kai Havertz. He's on good form at the moment, of course, for Arsenal and Germany, or has been, but he's a little bit dodgy with his finishing for me. So if Scotland are going to get some results, that's probably where they'll have to target.
All right, Germany get the game underway in their white shirts, white shorts, white socks, attacking the goal to our left, launched into the penalty area and just cleared away that time. And it's picked up in the midfield here by Jonathan Tah. Motti says 3-0 to Germany. Joe Smoke says Germany have no chance. Well, we'll wait and see. Here's Toni Kroos now for Germany on the halfway line. And he plays the ball forward to Musiala, and it's slipped back there to Mittelstadt. Mittelstadt drops the ball back to Toni Kroos. Gives the ball to Jonathan Tah inside the centre circle. And he drops it back to Antonio Rudiger, the Champions League winner. Here is Tah again. Plays the ball down the left-hand side to Mittelstadt on the halfway line. He just takes the ball back into his own half and drops the ball back to Antonio Rudiger. Germany keeping possession early on. Oh, a super long ball! And all of a sudden, Florian Wirtz is in, and that's a super save! An outstanding save by Angus Gunn, because Scotland were caught cold there, Ethan.
Yeah, it was a fantastic ball over the top by Rudiger, even though he slipped, and Wirtz is normally a very calm finisher in that scenario, but it's a great save by Gunn. Scotland, well, I think their lives flashed before their eyes for a second there, because that was a real opportunity very early on for the hosts.
Yes, he might well have played the ball across there. Kai Havertz was completely unmarked, and it was a wonderful save by Angus Gunn with the head. So it's going to be a corner to Germany, and it's going to be taken down the left-hand side. Scotland, it's not. It's actually been given offside. As a matter of fact, that was a really late flag, but it looks like Florian Wirtz was just standing in an offside position. But Germany pick up the ball again from the free kicks, and it's Wirtz again. Wirtz plays it down the left-hand side to Jamal Musiala. Musiala cuts inside the penalty area. Oh, that's a fine challenge that time by Porteous, and it's out of play. It's going to be a throw-in, but that was a really important challenge by Ryan Porteous. Oh, Musiala was in there, Ethan.
Yeah, and Jamal Musiala, a famously tricky customer, but Scotland are going to have to stand strong like Porteous did there, and Germany starting with the intensity we really thought they would.
Well, we kind of expected this from Germany. It was a rather limp performance against Greece. The goal in the last minute, as Germany came back from 1 goal down by Pascal Gross, who, despite that wonderful strike, only makes the bench tonight. Scotland trying to break away with Scott McTominay, but it comes off Musiala and goes out of play for a throw-in to Scotland, as we take a look at Stephen Clarke, the head coach for Scotland. Not to be underwritten, Ethan. They beat Spain in the qualifying rounds, and they've really done very well coming out of a very tough group.
Yeah, they did have a tough qualifying group. Started incredibly well there, had some really famous results. Everyone was, of course, talking about the form of Scott McTominay at the time. He was on fire scoring goals. I think at one point he was the top scorer in Europe in the qualifiers. And they're not to be overlooked. I mean, they did struggle a little bit towards the end of the qualifiers, but they're a strong side.
Germany have the ball now, and it's played forward, and it's picked up here by Jamal Musiala, this time on the right-hand side, under pressure from Tierney. And Tierney, excellent defending by him, plays it off Jamal Musiala, and it goes behind for a goal kick. Germany very, very quick on the break early on here, but that's really good defending again from Scotland.
Yes, very solid defending. And I actually have to say, down that left-hand side, Robertson and Tierney as two players to get past. It's not going to be easy for Jamal Musiala at all, as star of a player as he is for Germany tonight.
The goal kick is now going to be taken by Angus Gunn for Germany. For Scotland, and he right-footed downfield. And heads go up there, but it bounces over Shea Adams, and Antonio Rudiger just heads the ball back to the goalkeeper, Manuel Neuer. Are we seeing his last tournament today? One of the, if not the best goalkeeper of modern times. We may well be seeing him in his last tournament today. We've certainly seen Toni Kroos in his last tournament as he picks up the ball here. And he's got options left and right. He plays the ball down to Mittelstadt. Mittelstadt to Gundogan. Gundogan tries to play the ball to Havertz. Havertz not able to control it, and nipping in there is Ryan Christie. And he plays the ball back, and it's launched downfield by Jack Hendry. And trying to pick up that ball again is Shea Adams, but he's almost dispossessed there. But just picking up the loose ball well there is Andrew Robertson, the Scotland captain. But getting across there and making the challenge is Antonio Rudiger, and that's going to be a throw-in for Scotland. And I'm going to get your thoughts on that in a moment, Ethan. It's just a throw-in for Scotland here, level with the 18-yard box. Level with the Scotland penalty area. Robertson is going to take it himself. And he decides to leave it alone and hands it off instead to Kieran Tierney. And Tierney is just going to try the long throw here. And heads up. It's Rudiger who gets on the end of that and heads it outside the penalty area. Headed back in that time by Ralston. And now Germany win the ball back. And it's played forward by Joshua Kimmich. Chasing that one is Florian Wirtz. But that's really good work again by Jack Hendry. This time blocking out Wirtz to get the ball back to the goalkeeper, who in turn clears the ball downfield. And over the halfway line there, it's picked up by Ralston. Ralston drops the ball back to Porteous and then to McTominay. McTominay onto McGregor, and it's played over onto the left-hand side. And coming forward there is Christie. The ball is played forward there, and guess he's looking for John McGinn, but not able to find him, and it goes behind for a goal kick. Ethan, do you see Scotland's best chances here down the wings? Maybe, I know Joshua Kimmich isn't really the fastest, and neither is Mittelstadt. Do you see potentially Scotland opening Germany up that in that area of the field?
Yeah, I think particularly down the left-hand side, obviously Andrew Robertson, star player for Scotland. I'm not just saying that. He has won the most caps of any captain in Scottish history. He's a fantastic left-hand-sided player. And Kimmich, I don't think many people think is a natural right-back, more of a central defensive midfielder. He can play there, of course, but maybe he's someone to be got at tonight for Scotland down that left.
Well, we'll certainly see. Here's Kroos. Kroos holds the ball up, and he just slips it back into the centre circle to Jonathan Tah. Jonathan Tah plays it down the right-hand side to Joshua Kimmich. He plays the ball over the top there and manages to find Gundogan, but Gundogan is dispossessed by Andrew Robertson. Good work by him. In turn, though, he was unable to get Ryan Christie away. It was a good challenge by Joshua Kimmich, and it's going to be a throw-in for the Germans. And it's taken quickly by Ilkay Gundogan. He drops the ball back to Antonio Rudiger. And here's Toni Kroos now. He plays the ball forward, just looking there for Musiala. He gets the ball back to Kroos. And he plays the ball to Mittelstadt. Mittelstadt back to Kroos. Kroos holds the ball up now. He's looking for a long ball over there on the far side. There's Joshua Kimmich again. Kimmich. He's got options left and right. He finds Anderlecht, and Anderlecht was not expecting the ball, and he gave it away. And now Scotland can come forward. Picking up the ball here just down this near side is Scotland's number 13, Jack Hendry. But here is... It's won back by Florian Wirtz, and Wirtz gives the ball to Anderlecht again. Anderlecht holds the ball up there. And it's given to Kimmich again. Kimmich swings the ball and he's looking for Havertz. Havertz heads the ball down, but that was cleared away at that time by Scott McTominay, but only as far as Kroos. It's now with Rudiger. Rudiger back to Kroos. Kroos holds the ball up here. He's about halfway inside the Scotland half. He finds Mittelstadt. Mittelstadt, big cross towards the back post, and it's just headed out of play that time by Andrew Robertson for a throw into Germany. And it's taken quickly. Here's Rudiger. Back to Jonathan Tah, just outside the centre circle, inside Scotland's half. Kroos. Forward to Musiala. Musiala turns, gives the ball back to Kroos. Kroos has got options left and right. He decides to go there to Florian Wirtz, and Wirtz gives it back to Kroos. Here's Rudiger. Rudiger to Musiala. Down the right-hand side, here's Joshua Kimmich. You'll find that he gets forward throughout this game. And here's Rudiger. Jonathan Tah. Tah to Kroos, under pressure there that time from John McGinn, and the ball was nearly given away. Jonathan Tah had to chase it. Germany has to be careful with their passing, Ethan.
Yeah, they've really got to keep it under control if they're just going to keep up this pressure, because it is mounting if they can just be tidy on the ball.
Now here's Kai Havertz, finds himself down the right-hand side, gives the ball to Musiala, back to Havertz. And it's now with Anderlecht. Anderlecht gives the ball to Tah, back to Kroos. Kroos tries to play the through ball through there to Wirtz, finds him, and here's Havertz, tries to backheel it there. That was fancy play from Havertz, but it just didn't work. And it was cleared away, and Jonathan Tah wins the ball back into his own half and drops the ball to Mittelstadt. Here's Tah. Kroos. Kroos. Oh, a super long ball to Joshua Kimmich all the way there. So it's now level with the Scotland penalty area down the right-hand side. Comes to Wirtz. Oh, it's 1-0. Germany take the lead. They're off the mark in Munich. And it's 1-0. And it's Florian Wirtz on 10 minutes. And Germany are off to the start that they wanted and the start that Scotland couldn't afford. It's 1-0 to Germany. And Ethan, your thoughts on that goal?
Well, it's no less than Germany deserve. It's beautifully worked. That ball from Kimmich a ball from Kroos over to Kimmich, and then Kimmich with a nice pass into Wirtz. Not the most convincing finish, but then it's also not the best of attempts at a save from Angus Gunn in the Scotland goal, and Germany have put the pressure on. So this is no less than they deserve early on. Scotland with a long way to go. 80 minutes of this if it's going to keep up.
Yes, Wirtz chose to hit it first time. Perhaps that was why it was difficult for Gunn to get down and make that save. Of course, he's the son of former Scottish goalkeeper Brian Gunn. I think his father might have done a little better with that, Ethan.
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, that's why he's got Scottish legendary status. But Angus is still a solid keeper. He'll be disappointed with his hand at that one. He did get a hand to it, of course, but just not a strong enough one, Paul.
Well, it's 1-0, and all of a sudden Germany are now looking like they are well in control of this game. Scotland haven't had a lot of possession. They've got some now. And we can see whether Scotland can get back into this. Here's Ryan Christie. Oh, cut it across. It's Rudiger. That's a crunching challenge to be expected of nothing less. And Kimmich is dispossessed that time. And it goes back to Porteous. And Porteous goes all the way back to Angus Gunn. And Scotland will start again from the back. And here's Porteous again. And the ball is lifted forward. Oh, that's a poor ball. It was looking for Anthony Ralston. And Florian Wirtz, the goal scorer, nearly got in the way of that. And if he had done, he'd have had a clear run at goal. And Scotland looking pretty nervous early on, I'd say.
Yeah, dearie me, it's not the most confident of balls, that, but it's to be expected of under this atmosphere so far. They've just really got to hold their nerve here, Scotland. This is a test of what they're made of ahead of this European Championships.
Porteous plays the ball from the throw-in. And Germany battling to win the ball back in midfield. And that's Jamal Musiala working hard there. Gives the ball to Jonathan Tah. Tah releases the ball to Florian Wirtz. Drop back to Joshua Kimmich. Kimmich has got options left and right. He drops the ball back to Rudiger. Gives the ball back to Jonathan Tah, just outside the centre circle, as Germany marching on here with the ball. They're looking very, very solid early on. And this is not the German team that we've been used to seeing over the past year that has been struggling. They look very much prepared for this game. The ball is long and it finds Kai Havertz in the penalty area. That is really good defending by the Scots. So well done by Callum McGregor there. And but he's given the ball away and it's picked up by Robert Anderek inside the centre circle. Commentator's curse, Ethan. Here is Mittelstadt. Gives the ball to Musiala, and it's dropped back to Mittelstadt. Mittelstadt back to Kroos. Already been involved in the first goal, Tony Kroos. He's got options again, left and right. He'll may try to look for Kimmich, who Scotland are not picking up. And here is Anderlecht. Got back to the number 4, Jonathan Tah. Here's Kroos again, forward to Musiala. Is he fouled that time? No, that's good defending that time by McTominay. But Germany have the ball back with Musiala. Fine challenge by Porteous, and it's picked up by Ryan Christie. He drops the ball back to Andrew Robertson, and Ryan Christie is fouled. And it's going to be a free kick. Frantic pace, Ethan. Germany on top right now. Do you see any way back for Scotland?
Well, they've really got to pick up their passing ability, really, and their attacking confidence if they are to get anything from this game. But it's also important to remember this is only the first game of 3, and 3rd place in a group at this Euros, I think for the first time, correct me if I'm wrong, is also potentially good enough to get you through to the round of 16. So if they can just nick a draw, or even not a bad loss here against Germany, they'll be thinking ahead of this one.
Yes, well, I believe it's the best 4 teams, 4 third place teams go through to the round of 16. So, I mean, there's a chance for Scotland there, as you say, especially if they don't get hammered today. But we'll just wait and see. It's going to be a throw-in to Scotland, and it's going to be taken just outside Julian Nagelsmann's dugout, and it's taken by Porteous and thrown all the way back there to Jack Hendry, and Hendry releases the ball, and it's picked up here by Tierney. Drops the ball to McTominay. McTominay plays the ball down the right there, and picked up by Ralston, who drops the ball back to Porteous. Porteous back to Hendry. Hendry just drops the ball there to Tierney, and Tierney drops the ball to Christie. And this is good work by Scotland, keeping possession now for a while. They're coming forward now, but that's a good challenge by Antonio Rudiger on Tierney that time, and Germany win back the ball and maintain the status quo. Here is Tony Kroos. He gives the ball to Antonio Rudiger. He's on the halfway line. And across there to Joshua Kimmich. Back to Rudiger. And Jonathan Tah now. To Joshua Kimmich. This is possession football by Germany. And Tony Kroos across to Tah. Rudiger. And just look, they keep the ball so well to Germany. Their passing has been superb in this first half, Ethan.
Yeah, well, I think the key is a lot of them are in teams that favour a possession style, and they've got so many options like Kimmich, Rudiger even with a great pass early on in the game, and of course the great Tony Kroos in midfield. They've got some real great passes in this side. So just keeping on to possession and being patient, especially with this 1-goal lead, is all they really need to do, because they can unpick almost any defence in the Euros, I think, with the midfield and the options they've got in terms of passes in this side.
Well, the ball is cleared downfield by Manuel Neuer. It goes out of play, though, and it's going to be a throw-in, and Kieran Tierney has just made his way over there to take it. No, in fact, he's going to leave it for Andrew Robertson. So it's going to be a throw-in for Scotland, just inside their own half of the field. 1-0 the score, with 16 minutes gone, almost 17 minutes gone here in the Allianz Arena in Munich. Opening night of the Euro 2024 Championships. And the hosts are leading by 1-0. And here is Porteous. Porteous gives the ball there to Ralston. Back to Porteous. He plays the ball forward, but he only finds Jonathan Tah, who lays the ball to Kimmich. Not to Kimmich, to Kroos. And Kroos there just trying to play the ball forward to Wirtz. Wirtz maintains possession. He almost lost it for a moment. And there's Gundogan. Gundogan gives the ball to Kimmich again. Here's Anderlecht, just flooding that midfield. And Rudiger just drops the ball back all the way back to Manuel Neuer. And Manuel Neuer well out of his goal there. The familiar sight, the sweeper keeper, if you will. Here is Antonio Rudiger. And it's now with Jonathan Tah, and Kroos just knocks the ball back to Anderlecht. And it's a patient build-up again by Germany, just looking to break the Scots down. And here's Joshua Kimmich. Rudiger. Tar gives the ball to Kroos. Picked up here by Anderich. Anderich just lifts the ball over the top. And chasing this one is Kai Havertz, but that's really good goalkeeping there by the goalkeeper, Angus Gunn. Came out early and read that one, Ethan.
Yeah, he did. He's made up almost, well, not entirely made up because he considered the goal for his earlier blunder, but it's really good reactions from him to stop a potential attack. That was a really nice pass and a dangerous one from the midfield from Germany. They're looking really good so far.
Well, here's Anderich again for Germany. 74% possession for the Germans. They are well and truly in control of this. Here's Kroos to Gundogan. Gundogan plays the ball through. Oh, and it's through for Kai Havertz. He's in here. Havertz just turns the defender, pulls it back to Musiala. Musiala with a straight. Oh, I say. That is 2-0. Jamal Musiala just smashed that into the roof of the net. And Germany are looking magnificent. And they are sending a message to the rest of Europe tonight. 19 minutes gone. It's Germany 2, Scotland 0. It's Jamal Musiala. And Ethan, you can't blame Gunn for that, right?
Well, that was a lovely worked goal by Germany. And you've got to say, sometimes people bemoan Kai Havertz for not shooting when he initially gets the ball when he's through, but he picks the right choice there, turns back, finds Musiala, and what a finish it is from Germany's star boy, the young Bayern man. Absolutely beautiful football. And with the kit looking the way it is for Germany, they're not just playing beautiful football, they're looking good while they do it. It must be disheartening for Scotland. 2-0 down in the opening 20 minutes of this Euros. And hope's already fading. And they've not really put up much of a fight so far. They've really got to show some better football for the rest of this match.
Yes, well, that's 2-0, and Scotland struggling. Stephen Clark there just sending the message to his team to think about what they're doing. Defensively, they didn't pick up Musiala, but there's so many in that Germany team that you wonder who to mark first. And there's already an inquest going on between the captain there, Andrew Robertson, and Callum McGregor. Scotland get the game back underway, and Florian Wirtz and Jamal Musiala have Germany 2-0 up inside 20 minutes. We have some comments in the comment section. Rai I says, hello, hi, how are you doing? Tell us what you're doing, where you're listening from. Thanks for joining us. It's good to have you here. Mike says, Wirtz and Musiala both looking exceptional, as I predicted before kickoff. That's true. They are looking absolutely fantastic so far, as the Scottish fans are now silent, and they have brought over so many fans for this game to Germany. Very colourful bunch, noisy bunch, singing the Flower of Scotland. I remember watching a game between Germany and Scotland a few years ago. I think it was in Cologne, and the Scottish fans were singing their own national anthem, the Flower of Scotland. Just one moment, the ball is played through there, but it's cleared away by Angus Gunn. And I just remember they were singing the Flower of Scotland, the Scottish fans. They got applauded by the German fans. It was really quite a sight to see, even.
Yeah, and the camaraderie that Scotland and Germany fans have shown as well in the early days has been really nice to see. It's Scotland, it was mentioned pre-match, they always travel away well. They always behave, and even with the amount of Tennent's lager they might be drinking. But they were arm in arm, the fans, before the match. I saw images of a Tartan Army member with a German fan arm in arm singing the anthems. It's really nice to see, and they bring great support. They flooded the Allianz Arena with their Scottish flags. So, they'll be disappointed with this early display, and I really hope for them that they end up seeing better from their side.
Well, we'll see. It's a throw into Scotland, and it's going to be taken by Anthony Ralston, as Steve Clark just wondering what his options are at this stage. And it's thrown all the way back there, and it's picked up by Porteous, who plays the ball forward. And that's a challenge from behind by Anderich, and it's going to be a free kick for the foul on Ryan Christie. Ryan Christie back on his feet. Remember, yellow cards, you have to be careful. 2 yellow cards will get you a game suspension. So both sides will not want to take any yellow cards in this game if they can at all help it. And here's Ralston just turning towards his own goal, but he's fouled that time by Maximilian Mittelstadt, and it's going to be a free kick to Scotland. And just get across there. It was a late challenge. No doubt about the foul, Ethan, hey?
No, but it's good energy and pressing from Germany in that scenario. Unfortunately, the foul is given away, but it's a reminder to Scotland, really. Sure, they've got away with a free kick this time, but they're really under pressure trying to play it from the back. Maybe a change of tact might be necessary here.
Yeah, they're given no time on the ball at the moment. It's the thing, isn't it? Here's Ralston now, and he drops the ball back to Palston. Right Eye says, "I love the commentary. Thank you so much." Joe Smoke still thinks, he thinks Germany are going to win 3-2. So Joe Smoke says 3-2. So it's cleared away there by Jonathan Tarr. Again, if you're listening, get your own predictions in. We'd love to hear from you. I'll read them out. Only thing I ask of you, please, is that you just keep everything nice and clean. Remember, we're a family show. And it's going to be a free kick now to Germany as Gundogan is clattered into by Callum McGregor. It's nice to see the referee is keeping his cards in his pocket early on, knowing the intensity and emotion of the evening. Is Gross just holding the ball up inside his own half, played forward. And there's Jamal Musiala, gives the ball to Mittelstadt. Oh, that's a fine challenge, but Mittelstadt still gets the ball. He tries to play the ball across. Oh, and he's found Musiala inside the penalty area. He goes down, Musiala. Germany claiming a penalty, and it's given. It's a penalty for the foul on Jamal Musiala. And we're just going to see now whether that is so. I'm sure VAR will be looking at it. Our VAR team today, Jerome Brissard, Willie Delihold and Massimiliano Irati. It looks like that might have started outside the box, could have carried on inside. It's definitely very close, and we'll get VAR to have a look at it. I'm sure it will create some discussions at half-time between Nick and Ross, and maybe some opinions in the comment section as well on whether or not that was a penalty. Mike says, my prediction is Scotland are going to get battered. VAR are checking the penalty now, incidentally. We are just waiting to see what the VAR folk are going to come up with. We certainly hope not. We don't want any controversy anymore. We've seen enough of that in the Premier League season. And let's take a look. It was definitely contact. It's definitely a foul. I don't think anybody can argue with that. Ethan, your opinion?
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Clumsy, definitely a foul, but I think the initial contact might be just outside the penalty area. It's whether or not that decision is ultimately taken, because is there enough evidence to overturn the on-field decision? That's the key with VAR, isn't it? And yeah, it's a really tight one to look at between Christie's foul on Musiala there. I think personally, in this scenario, it's difficult, but I think it should be a free kick.
Well, we're going to see in a moment. And it's given, I think. Or is it? The referee, no penalty. So the referee has given no penalty. So it's obviously, as you said, you rightly said, Ethan, it might have been just outside the box. I must admit it looked that way for me as well. So it's going to be a free kick to Germany instead. No penalty there. And the free kick is going to be in a very dangerous position, just inside the D, almost on the 18-yard line. Now, is this an advantage or a disadvantage, Ethan? Because either you've got to get it round the wall, because if you try to get it over, it's very hard to get it over and down, isn't it, from that close?
Yeah, precisely. It's a really difficult finish to take take a free kick from there. If anyone could do it, perhaps it would be Toni Kroos or Kimmich. They're both pretty good from dead ball situations, but it's also quite easy as a defence to set up, because you can make that wall as tall or as short as you want. You can cover the bottom of it, and the goalkeeper can obviously cover his angles. This is a really difficult scenario for Germany, but if anyone can do it, I think they've got the technicians for it.
Well, they've got a number of players around it. They've got an entire committee there. Kroos, Kimmich, Gundogan, and I think the other one over there is Kai Havertz, I think. We're just going to see. They may go for power, but I would say the favourite would normally be Toni Kroos, but this just may be the wrong side for him. But we'll see. We've got 7 players in the Scotland wall and one behind, and a row of German players in front of that wall as well. So let's see. It's taken short and sent to Havertz with a blaster, and getting down to his right-hand side and making a comfortable save is Angus Gunn. Did very well. The goalkeeper got right behind it that time. Shot there. Goalkeeper took a deflection as well. I mean, the goalkeeper there, fortunately, it bounced well for him. Going to be a throw-in. and picked up that time by Callum McGregor. McGregor again, he just dropped, is trying to be cleared away by Germany, and finally getting on the end of that was Rudiger and clears the ball downfield into his half there. And the goalkeeper Angus Gunn coming out to pick that up. And Ross saying Scotland to win 3-2. Mike says the decision was correct. I agree with him, frankly. I think it was when I looked at it on that second replay as well. Can't deny that it is outside the box. As we have 28 minutes gone here, it's Germany 2, Scotland 0. And a throw-in to Scotland here, and it's picked up by McTominay. McTominay again. Drops the ball back, but nipping in there well is Jamal Musiala. And Musiala just skipping away from the defender, and he's going forward now is Musiala. Is he going down there? Yes, it's a free kick. And another foul on Musiala, and this time by Callum McGregor. Being targeted a bit, Musiala, Ethan.
Well, he is, but you can understand why. I mean, I don't often get to watch Jamal Musiala, unfortunately, but what a player he is. I mean, he's proving really tricky to deal with tonight. The goal was well taken. His dribbling ability, his passing, he's a problem from every scenario. So Scotland, I think, targeting him rightly.
Yes, well, the ball comes out onto the far side to Kimmich. Kimmich plays the ball into the box to Gundogan. Gundogan stepping outside the box and gives the ball back to Kimmich. Kimmich holds the ball up. And here's Rudiger. Rudiger gives the ball to Kimmich. Kimmich drops the ball there back to Gundogan. 2-0 Germany. And it's now with Jonathan Tah. Back to Rudiger. This is good work by Germany again, maintaining possession. This is the way Germany have been playing when they've been in their better years as well. With the Gegenpresser, it works really, really well, and they maintain possession very, very well when they play this way. They are very difficult to beat. Here is Kroos. Kroos, just inside the Scotland half of the field, and plays the ball out to the right-hand side. Picking up the ball again is Joshua Kimmich. Drops it back to Rudiger. Rudiger, good ball forward, but getting in the way of that is Kieran Tierney, and that's a shocking challenge. And we're going to get a free kick, and we're going to get our first yellow card. And it's Robert Andernick for that terrible challenge on Scott McTominay. That really was a poor challenge. Let's look at this again. Well, he actually wins the ball, but he's going to get the yellow card for it. It looked from another angle, it looked really bad. But he won the ball. Yellow card, do you think?
I don't know. Maybe it's a little bit harsh, but he did come steaming into that one with a lot of enthusiasm. It did look initially quite bad. And, you know, he's been accused of those once before for Bayer Leverkusen. He did win the ball, but it's not the best of tackles. So I can understand why he's been given the yellow card, even if it can also be seen as a little bit harsh there. Whether or not it's deserving of the first yellow card of the game, however, as well, is another question.
Yeah, well, we'll see. It's not what he wants, that's for sure. It's the first yellow card of the game. The ball is long and forward there, just looking for Ryan Christie, but that's dealt with nicely at the back by Maximilian Mittelstadt. And Germany just headed back to the goalkeeper Neuer, and he releases it. And Germany now can break away. And here's Mittelstadt now again. He's been quite fairly effective in this first half, as most of these Germany players have really looked well on top of their game today. Do you see any way back for Scotland? I mean, Russ says 3-2 to Scotland. Do you see that happening, Ethan? I mean, I'm not sure I do right now.
Well, my issue is that Scotland's best weapons in order to turn this over are, I think, already on the pitch, whereas Germany have great depth on the bench, and even this first 11 is 2-0 up and comfortable. So my issue, I mean, Scotland do have names on the bench, don't get me wrong, but I don't think they're names that could turn this game completely on its head from 2-0 down against a team that are really up there in favourites for this Euros. So personally, I am a little bit unsure about whether or not they'll turn it around, especially after the start they've had. But let's hope their confidence hasn't taken too much of a knock. It's not completely done for them yet. And, they have got opportunities going forward if they can find them.
Yeah, well, I mean, 2-0, as we've always said, is a funny lead, isn't it? So, I mean, it's never over until the fat lady sings, as the old saying goes. Free kick here to be taken by Angus Gunn for the handball by Kai Havertz. And it's cleared downfield. And it bounces over the head of a number of German defenders before Jonathan Tah just heads it back to the goalkeeper ahead of Shea Adams. And here is Mittelstadt. He drops it back here to Kroos. Kroos drops the ball across to Rudiger. Rudiger holds the ball up and he plays it long, looking for the chasing Kai Havertz, and that's good work by the goalkeeper. Well, he got right to the edge of his own penalty area and was challenged there by Kai Havertz as well. Passed just a bit too much on it by Rudiger. And here's Porteous. He drops it back to the goalkeeper, Gone, and clears the ball downfield, but it's picked up and won back by Germany again. And here's Rudiger. And it's all very much one-way traffic in this first half. Here's Anderlecht. And it's Jonathan Tah. Tah holds the ball up and drop back to Rudiger. Rudiger back to Jonathan Tah. Plays the ball here to the Anderlecht, and Anderlecht drops the ball there to Tah. Back to Rudiger. Rudiger plays the ball to the centre line there to Toni Kroos. Kroos, is he fouled there by Ryan Christie? The referee has given the free kick. It was a little late, the referee's whistle there, for the foul on Toni Kroos, and it's a free kick to Germany. And it's picked up here now by Jamal Musiala. Musiala drops the ball back, and it's picked up by Kroos. Kroos drops the ball to Rudiger. Rudiger holds the ball up now. He's got options left and right, and he's just taking his time at the moment. Germany almost at a walking pace when they get the ball. They're just quite happy to knock the ball around at the moment. Ethan, it's very much like a training session for them, isn't it?
It is, because they're not really being put under any pressure by Scotland. Scotland aren't certainly pressing. I think they were trying to sit in and hold what they have, but what they have is a 2-0 disadvantage, and I think they need to be a little bit more forward with their approach here, because otherwise Germany are just going to sit comfortable for the rest of this match. They've already shown that they can keep hold of the ball, better than Scotland can defend it. So I think the key for...
Oh, sorry. Finish your point now. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, I was honestly just repeating what I already said there, Paul, so no worries, carry on, mate.
Okay, sorry about that. Here's Ralston. Ralston holds the ball up and turns, and just drops the ball across there to Hendry, and Hendry releases the ball, and over on the far side is Tierney, finds McGinn. McGinn launches the ball forward into the penalty area. Chasing this one is Shea Adams, cutting across to make the challenge is Mittelstadt. He plays the ball out of play. Off a Scotland defender, I believe that was McTominay, and it's going to be a throw-in for Germany with Maximilian Mittelstadt as now being taking the throw-in, and is level with his own penalty area. We've got 10 minutes to go until half-time. Obviously, I think Julian Nagelsmann will be happy with this 2-0 lead. I don't think he'll want Germany to rest on their laurels on this. For Scotland, for Steve Clarke, well, he's got options on the bench, but there's a lot to be done to get back into this game as the ball is returned to the goalkeeper, Angus Gunn, by Kieran Tierney. And Gunn has the ball now. He releases it to Hendry. Hendry holds up the ball and he gives it to Porteous. Porteous back to Hendry. It is 2-0 to Germany. And Hendry gives the ball to Porteous again. Just holding the ball up and tries to play the ball long, but there's nobody there. Was looking perhaps for John McGinn, but Ethan, there's no connection between the Scottish team. It's almost like they haven't played together before.
Yeah, it's strange. They don't seem to have the connection that they need for this level. I think they've also got to start getting more out of John McGinn. I don't know whether he was put on the right wing just as a formality to fit his name on the team sheet, but he is a player that can cause real problems, and he couldn't get onto the end of that ball. They've really got to find him, and maybe Scott McTominay even. But as you say, these players don't look like they've played together that many times, and it's disappointing, really. You have to say, probably expected more going into this match, especially after their qualifying campaign.
Yes, I agree with you on that for sure. Here's Jonathan Tah. Tries to find Wirtz, but Scotland win that ball back with Porteous. Porteous sends the ball back to Ralston, who gives it back to the goalkeeper. Gunn clears the ball downfield, and just winning the ball there is Jonathan Tah, just ahead of Shea Adams, and it's going to be a throw-in for Scotland, and they might well have had a foul there as well. Looks like Jonathan Tah had his arms around Shea Adams, who was appealing, and the referee did indeed give that free kick. And standing over this one is Scott McTominay, who himself has been quite quiet in this game, and Scotland would depend on somebody like Scott McTominay to put in a performance. We have a slight hold up at the moment, as we have Scotland maybe working on something here. They got John McGinn on the goal line, so perhaps they're looking for some disturbances. He now moves. The ball comes into the penalty area, and it's headed back to the edge of the area. But Jamal Musiala is there just to clear the ball forward. Good defensive work by the forward, and nipping in there is Florian Wirtz, and Scotland are going to have to be careful. Angus Gunn finally comes out and clears the ball. Won by Jonathan Tah, and he heads the ball down, but it's only picked up by Porteous. And that ball is played forward by Hendry, and it's found Ryan Christie down the left-hand side. Ryan Christie, holding up by Antonio Rudiger, and he tries to play the ball off Kimmich. Christie claiming he was fouled there as Kimmich plays the ball forward, but nipping in to win the ball there was Callum McGregor, and the ball goes out of play. It's 2-0 to Germany with 7 minutes to go in the first half. And if you was Steve Clarke right now, Ethan, would you be looking at making changes at halftime? And if so, who would you be wanting to bring on?
Well, he wasn't started because of his lack of experience, but I know he could bring some composure into the midfield, potentially Billy Gilmour. I think if I was to make changes, maybe it's not necessarily personnel for now, but formationally, definitely, because I think you need to get John McGinn on the ball in the central positions instead of posting him out on the wing, and potentially put Scott McTominay a little bit further forward so that they both can get forward and cause some problems. I don't think sitting back like they have has really worked at all. Well, that seems obvious, 2-0 down. So just maybe formational changes at half-time from Steve Clarke.
Here's Wirtz, cuts inside the penalty area down the left-hand side, drops the ball to Gundogan. Good work by him. Gundogan finds Rudiger in an advanced position. Rudiger gets the shot in, and it's plucked out of the air by the Scottish goalkeeper, Angus Gunn. It's rare to see Antonio Rudiger in a position like that, but even he's getting involved now. As we take a look at the goal scorers here, Wirtz and Musiala, 10 and 19 minutes respectively. Since then, Germany have not added anything else, but they've had a lot of possession, as Ralston just manages to get the ball back there to Porteous and headed away there, but only as far as Kimmich, and Kimmich gives the ball to Mittelstadt. Mittelstadt holds the ball up, and he finds Wirtz. Wirtz now getting into the penalty area, looking to run at the Scottish defence. Wirtz cuts inside and drops it back to Musiala, who gives it to Mittelstadt, back to Wirtz. Mittelstadt. Musiala. He gives the ball to Rudiger. Rudiger midway inside his own half of the field, and it's Musiala. Musiala again. He's just cutting back now and gives the ball to Jonathan Tah. Just over the halfway line is Jonathan Tah. And here is again. He's in an advanced position here, as Germany are looking to catch in perhaps a little bit more, as Toni Kroos does a quick 1-2 with Robert Anderlecht, and then Toni Kroos plays the ball to Musiala. Musiala now is running at the Scottish defence. Good work by Musiala. Beats two players there. Gives the ball to Gundogan. Gundogan back to Kimmich. Kimmich gets across it. Gundogan with a header. Oh, it's broken loose just for a moment. And going down there was Gundogan. And it's going to be a corner. Gundogan is down. He looks in a lot of pain. And the physios are coming on. But that's a fantastic header by Gundogan, forcing a great save out of the goalkeeper. Now, it broke very well for Scotland because it just broke away from Kai Havertz on the rebound. Ethan, Scotland lucky there.
Yeah, Scotland a little bit lucky with that bounce, because if Kai Havertz finishes that and puts Germany 3-0 up, I think that's game over. Just a little bit of an interesting clash there as well between Porteous and Gundogan, which is going to be an interesting one. They both look to have come away in pain, but the other thing I'm marvelling at there is the run from Jamal Musiala. Every time you think he's going to be stopped, he just makes it further. He finds the pass to Kimmich, and that's really what opened Scotland up and created that opportunity.
And I've got a couple of comments in the comment section. Mike said Musiala, there's a potential penalty check going on as well for the foul on Gundogan. So there's actually a potential penalty check going on. We'll keep you updated with that once we know what the results of that is. And comments in the comment section. Mike Harneman says Musiala is so good. Assy Boy says thanks for the stream. Can't watch, so listening will have to do. And Michael says Scotland need to start taking some risk as Adams is looking isolated. The two players that down there are still being treated. The potential penalty check is ongoing. I would like to have a look at it. We haven't got the pictures on that yet. But for me, do you think that was a foul? It did look a bit off, didn't it?
Yeah, it looked rough. And I'm not sure totally that I think it's Porteous, who was the Scottish defender there, actually got a foot on the ball. He stopped Gundogan, but did he stop the ball? I think that's what they're going to be checking here, because it was a rough challenge.
Look. Yes, the referee's going over to the monitor to have a look, and that's usually an anonymous sign. And if you're a Scotland fan, this is not good news for you. Let's have a look again.
Oh, that is a high boot.
That's a foul. That is a foul. Now, he does win the ball first, but again, we had that decision earlier on outside the box for something similar, didn't we, involving Anderlecht, and he got a yellow card for that. So, yes, the penalty is given, and we have got a penalty here and a chance for Germany to increase their lead to 3-0. And I'm just wondering who might take it. There's a number of options, Kai Havertz being one, of course. We'll take a look anyway. We'll see if Gundogan himself might take it. But it's Havertz with a ball in his hand. And there's an argument going on here. They may be checking him for a red card on this, because Porteous' boot was up. The studs were up. This could be a red card. Oh, yeah, those studs were up. Ethan, your thoughts on that? Do you think that's a red or...
I think for me that's a real... Oh.
That's a red. He's going. Yeah, he's going. He's off. Porteous is off. That is a red card, and it's for the studs. And it just gets worse and worse for Scotland. 2-0 down, a penalty to Germany, and now they're down to 10 men for a red card for Porteous, and he will, of course, miss the next game. And all of a sudden, it's going all terribly wrong for the Scots. And that was a terrible challenge, though, wasn't it? I mean, he had to go for that. I'll get your thoughts on that after the penalty. It's Kai Havertz who's going to take it. He's got a pretty good penalty record, but he has been known to miss a few. Let's see how this goes. Kai Havertz stepping up now. Take this penalty. And just focus. He looks very, very focused. We're just waiting for the referee's whistle now. The referee making sure just everybody's outside the box. The nerves, they'll be jingling for Kai Havertz, because he knows that if this goes in, it's very much really game over, isn't it? Here goes Kai Havertz, ready now to take the penalty. We're just waiting for the referee's whistle. And finally, the referee blows his whistle. Havertz steps up and sends Gun the wrong way and puts it down his left-hand side. And Germany are 3-0 up, and they are sending a message out to Europe. We are back. It's 3-0.
A calm, cool, collected penalty from Kai Havertz. That is a really well-taken effort. I mean, it's definitely a penalty, no argument about that. For me, it's also definitely a red, and it's the worst possible start for Scotland. They've given Germany all the opportunities that they can to go 3-0 up. Germany have taken them. And, again, a calm penalty. Kai Havertz and Germany strolling to success. And as you say, sending a message.
Yes, well, Russ says double jeopardy rule should mean no red card, but it's not to do with the penalty situation. It's to do with the fact that his studs were up, I think, that it was a dangerous challenge. So as a consequence, double jeopardy doesn't mean anything there. It's the studs were up. It was a vile challenge, and I think a red card, in my opinion, for me, was appropriate. But here we are with 3-0, and we've got 2 minutes left in stoppage time of the 3 minutes that has been awarded by our fourth official here. Fourth official is Francois Letexier, and it's currently about a minute left. And I think just before we hand back to the studio at half time, Ethan, we'll get your thoughts on the first half. What's been an incident-packed first half. As here is Tierney now, plays the ball forward. Picking up that ball is Christie. Now that ball was almost given away as Havertz nearly nipped in there, but just getting ahead of him was Callum McGregor, and the ball goes out of play off Musiala, and it's going to be a throw-in for Germany as they are 3-0 up. And 47 minutes here. We've got about 30 seconds more of stoppage time at the end of this first half. The throw-in is taken quickly and long. It's headed on to Christie. And its ball is bouncing around all over there, and it's picked up again by Portuus. Portuus gives the ball to McGregor. McGregor back to Tierney. Tierney tries to get the cross in, but it's headed away by Jonathan Tah. And it's picked up there by Anthony Ralston, but the referee has just blown for half-time, I think. Or has he? No, I thought he'd just blown for half-time. He's given a free kick to Scotland for the earlier foul. And Clement Turpin, our referee today, has had to show a red card and award a penalty. Probably not what he wanted on his opening game. The free kick is going to be taken here by Andrew Robertson. It's down the left-hand side, and it's about 40 yards from goal. It's swung in, and it's headed out by Jonathan Tah, but Scotland maintain possession. Here's Ralston. Ralston drops the ball back there, and now the referee has blown for half-time. And at the Allianz Arena in Munich, it is Germany 3, Scotland 0 at half-time. And Ethan, can I have your first half assessment, please?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't get much better from a German perspective as hosts 3-0 up at half-time in the opening game of your home Euros. They've dominated play, and for Scotland, it couldn't get much worse. A red card, 3-0 down, they gave away a penalty, and, you know, it was a terrible tackle to give away the penalty. I think it was completely justified by VAR and the referee. So Germany with a great start. You asked me what changes Steve Clarke could make at half-time. I think for Scotland, it's damage limitation. For Germany, do you think about taking off Musiala and Wirtz already and saving them for later games in the tournament? But no, best possible start for Germany, worst possible start for Scotland. This second half is going to be an intriguing watch.
All right, well, we've got half-time. It's 3-0, and we're going to hand back to Nick and Ross in the studio.
Thanks, Paul. You could say Germany's start was engineered to perfection, and I'm sorry I had to say that because I'm a massive fan of German engineering. But anyway, but anyway, Russ, what a start for Germany! Where have they been?
Fantastic start for Germany, Paul. And he only took 10 minutes for the opening goal to come in. And like Mike said in the live comment section, just as Germany took the lead early on, Scotland were holding firm under quite a lot of pressure so far in the game. However, the goal had been coming, and it was a well-taken goal by Wirtz, brilliant second goal by Musiala. For me, it was a penalty, but I don't see that being a red card. I know JB says in the chat it was never a penalty or a red card. JB, for me, I agree with not a red card, but for me, it was a penalty. But I don't see that as a red card due to the double jeopardy rule, which I mentioned. But for me, Scotland, like Ethan said there, just as they were closing up, brilliant commentary, by the way. These damage limitations now for Scotland. They're down to 10 men. What does Steve Clarke do here now? Does he fetch on another defender, someone like Grant Allen maybe, or Liam Cooper, to try and organise that defence and play in the middle of, or even Scott McKenna can play in the back three to try and organise that defence? Or does he try and keep it with what he's got, send McTominay back into there, because McTominay is filled in there for Manchester United at points during the past season. So maybe he looks at that, or maybe he looks at fetching an experienced centre-half in the squad that they've got in, Liam Cooper, Grant Allen, Scott McKenna, just to name three there was on the bench, to come on and fill and plug that gap and take off, say, someone who's sitting in that front of the back, for say McGregor type of player, and go back to a back three. Because at the moment, McGregor's having to slot back in there, McTominay's having to drop back a bit deeper, not getting in support for Adams. And like Mike said, I think it was Mike who said it on the chat, he was isolated in that first half, Che Adams, and not really going to the game much. And that's the problem for Scotland. If you're having one up front, you need to make sure you got people in support of them, and they've not done that in that first half.
No, they certainly haven't, and not only is this a big loss for Scotland tonight, this could also have serious implications on where they finish come the end of the group stage, because as because as Paul mentioned earlier, it's only the 4 best third-place teams that advance through to the round of 16. So, if the so it's so th- so the way Scotland have been playing, it's not looking good for them.
No, it's not, Nicholas. It's not looking good at all. And you look at the performance from Scotland in that first half, and he's not been good enough. Yes, they've got experienced players in the starting lineup, like so Andy Robertson, Kieran Tierney, amongst those, Callum McGregor, Scott McTominay, John McGinn, Ryan Christie, experienced player at international level, but they've not really done enough there for Scotland in that first half. They need to get the more dangerous players like McGinn, the Christies, McTominays on the ball in and around the final third to supply the balls into Che Adams, which has not looked good, which have not done enough of in that first half. But when you look at it from a German point of view, everything they've done has been absolutely spot on. Not give Scotland time or space in the back line. And I'm just looking at the first goal again here now, Nicholson. You're looking at for Germany this season, Germany leading 3-0, and they have it to the back, and then Kroos just turns it and pings the ball from the centre out wide to the right hand side, and then just cut in edge of the penalty area. Who's picking up Wirtz? Who's picking up Wirtz for that first goal? But also, as well, when you look at it, for me, Angus Gunnar's got to do much better there. He gets an hand to it. He should get a big, strong hand to that ball and push it around the post rather than just getting a soft hand onto it. And I think that was the problem with that first goal. And then since that is not really settled for Scotland, Musiala with a well-worked finish as well. And like Mike said, it could get embarrassing very, very quickly for Scotland. And JB saying Scotland will score 3 in the second half. Where they played JB in that first half, my friend,
That's ambitious.
I don't think that'll happen. And like Nicholas has just said there, it's ambitious. I think you could more likely see Scotland conceding 3 more goals than scoring. As we just see, and I'm just looking at the second goal here, well worked. And who's picking up Musiala? He gets played through, and Sherdams is isolated. He's watching one player, and he's not. He can't be a 2-player-1. McGregor's just stood watching as the ball comes straight through the gap, and McGregor's supposed to be on there. Then Musiala breaks through. He's onside, and who's picking him up? No one's picking him up. And by the time McGregor gets back to him, should I say, he's already cut inside and bent it into the back of the net. So poor defensive play from Scotland from the front in Che Adams leading up to that second goal.
Yes, indeed, I've just been so impressed with how Germany have handled this, and as Paul says, it's back to the Germany of old. They won the World Cup 10 years ago. They could well do so here as well, if their performance stays as it is, and the big talking point, of course, has to be the Kai Havertz penalty resulting from the earlier foul, and that penalty was just absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, well taken penalty from Kai Havertz. You've seen him do that before for Germany, scoring from the spot. He has scored twice for Arsenal. I don't think not for Arsenal from the spot, but he has done for Chelsea when he was at Chelsea as well. So we know he's got that in his locker. I've just seen the incident again. For me, it is a penalty, but I don't think it's a red card because, as I mentioned, double jeopardy rule. But also, he plays the ball, and then where's his foot supposed to go after playing the ball forward? He can't stop after he's played the ball with the ball just moving forward. He can't stop himself following through, and you see people getting sent off for that in the Premier League, which is, for me, which is not right. You see it in Europe as well, which I don't think is right. You can't actually stop following through after you've played the ball. You can't stop your foot from continuing in that motion after playing the ball, and that's what Porteous did for me. And so I don't think it was a red card for those two reasons. The double jeopardy rule. Normally, if you give a penalty, it's not a red card afterwards, but he played the ball, and Mike's just said there, yes, he did score. I thought he had Mike, but I wasn't 100% sure. That's why I just mentioned Chelsea. Kai Havertz has scored from the penalty spot for Arsenal before, as well. As you said, it was his first Arsenal goal was from the penalty spot, so we know that he can do that. And if Scotland concede another penalty, will Havertz go the same direction, or will he change the direction? And an interesting thing which I've always listened to when I've listened to players being interviewed before or after a game, in the penalty shootouts, what they normally do, they normally look at where they've took the penalty from, or a penalty incident in games before. Look where they normally go and have it written down on the water bottle, the goalkeepers. And maybe the way gun went, maybe Havertz has gone that way before, and Havertz could have known that he'd be going the way he normally goes, so switched it up, and now we've alluded upon there, Nicholas, well taken penalty from Kai Havertz. And that penalty for Arsenal, by the way, guys, was scored against Bournemouth. Jeez for that, yes, Mike. I thought it was.
Thanks for that, Mike. Scotland really needs to switch things up during the second half. But as Ross and I have both said, it's surely too late. It's surely too late for them now. Great coverage from both Ethan and Paul. We should be able to hand over back to them in a moment or two. Coming up tomorrow on the Commentary Hub is Spain against Croatia. Join Russ and Paul for that one, and also tomorrow also on tomorrow is Italy. Anyway, the Spain against Croatia match is on at 5:00 tomorrow, and also coming up tomorrow at the later time of 8:00 is Italy against Albania, with Russ presenting, and Paul James will be joined by Mike Harneman for this match, and also give you a bit of a heads up for what's coming up on Sunday as well. It's Slovenia against Denmark at 5:00 with Jack Heston on commentary duties, and on the Sunday, and later on the Sunday, England's first match against Serbia with me in the commentary hot seat. So a flying start to Euro 2024 for Germany. Will they maintain their form to the second half, or will I think it's most likely going to be that way. But what do you think? Get in touch with us in the comments. But right now,
Nick, I just want to say something quickly before I'm back to Ethan and Paul, ready for the second half. And for me, and Joe Smokes has said a big up to welcoming Joe for doing okay, my friend. He says never too late for Scotland. On this occasion, my friend, I think it is a bit too late now for Scotland. If only way I can see Scotland getting back into this game or putting up a really good fight is if they get the next goal. And at the moment, I'm not sure where the next goal or where the goal is going to come from for Scotland. They've not got the creative players into the game enough, like I mentioned in the first half, and like Ethan alluded to on commentary as well. So for me, they need to get more creative players on the ball, be more quick, be more in the game. But for me, I can only see Germany getting more goals in this second half, and it being a comfortable victory for Germany come full time in the end.
All right, now, second half is almost upon us, so let's hand back over to Ethan Gardner and Paul James.
Thanks, Nick. Thanks, Ross. Welcome back to the Allianz Arena. We're going to be starting the second half shortly. Ethan, yourself, where do you see Scotland? If they are going to get themselves back into this game, and it's not looking like they're able to, they're down to 10 men, They're 3-0 down. But do you see any way back for them?
Well, I'm sorry to any Scotland fans that may be joining us. I don't personally for this one. I think it's damage limitation. If they can maybe nick a goal, I think the best result coming out for them here is a limited low of goal difference, because that can stand them in good stead for the other two games. But I think for now, they've just got to accept their fate. They're 3-0 down already at half-time to the hosts of the tournament. I'm not sure, having watched that first half, where their attacking threat really comes from, unless they can get the likes of McGinn, McTominay and Robertson more involved in attacking areas rather than sitting back and letting Germany play at them. I'm not sure anything good can come of this second half from a Scottish perspective, especially when you look at the Germany bench. But you never know. There's 45 minutes left plus whatever added time we get, and changes can be made. So Scotland, not totally down and out, but I think it's incredibly unlikely.
Yeah, so it looks like Germany indeed may be making a substitution themselves. It looks like Pascal Gross is coming on for Robert Anderlecht. So that's a substitution for Germany. Pascal Gross is on. Also looks like, I just wondered if there's been a substitution for the Scots as well. We'll see. Yes, it looks like Grant Hanley has come on as well. So we'll just try and find out who's gone off for Grant Hanley. At the moment, we don't have that information right now. We'll just get that just as soon as we're able to. Let's wait for the official announcement. Second half is about to get us underway here. We're just waiting for the official's whistle. There we go. So 2 substitutions at half-time. Pascal Gross is on for Robert Anderlecht, and the 2 number 5s, actually. And I've been informed that the substitute going off is Shay Adams. So I think it's Steve Clarke is along your way of thinking, bringing on an additional defender there and taking off Shay Adams and bringing on Grant Hanley. So those are the 2 substitutes at half-time, both of them wearing number 5, as we look at Rudiger and Christie clashing there. And it's going to be a free kick to Scotland. And Mike Harneman says Adams off for Hanley for Scotland, says that they're looking to keep the score down. Thanks, guys, for updating me on that substitution, because it came up a little bit later on my screen. The free kick is going to be taken by Scott McTominay, and it's just down the left-hand side here, just on the corner, well, about just almost level with the 6-yard box, and it's going to be Scott McTominay that's going to swing this one in. He's just waiting for his options left, and he swings the ball in. It's not a great one, and Germany are able to clear that one away with Joshua Kimmich just clearing that ball out of play. But you can see, despite the defensive substitution, Ethan, they've started off strongly in the second half, positively at Scotland.
Yeah, I think they have, and that free kick was a right decision to make in terms of it being an in-swinger and hitting it low into the danger area, hoping for a deflection. And I know Shay Adams coming off might seem quite defensive when you're taking off your striker, but you still have some good options going forward there, and perhaps they don't necessarily need a focal point anymore, but they need some players who can interchange, and I think they have that. So we'll hope that they can actually come out positive at the beginning of the second half. But it would have also been interesting to be a fly on the wall in the 2 changing rooms at half-time, because what do you say if you're Steve Clarke at this point, Paul? I mean, I'm not really sure.
Goodness knows. I have no idea what you would say there. But here's Callum McGregor. McGregor gets a cross in, and just getting in the way there was Tony Kroos, and now Germany can break away. And here's Kai Havertz. Is he fouled there? Sorry, that's Florian Wirtz. Is he fouled there? The referee says yes, and a yellow card has been issued to Ralston. So Ryan Ralston goes into the referee's notebook as well. And that was a very, very poor challenge. Cuts across the leg there. No doubt. Yellow card for you.
Yeah, yellow card. He's just got to take one for the team there from a Scotland perspective, because we know what Germany are like on the counter, and especially when Wirtz is on the ball.
And here is Mittelstadt. Plays the ball down the left-hand side, and it's Wirtz. He gives the ball, there's a quick 1-2 with Ilkay Gundogan, and gives the ball back to Gundogan. Here's Jonathan Tah now. Does a quick 1-2 with Pascal Gross. And it's now with Rudiger. Rudiger back to Tar as Germany once again just holding possession, and Scotland once again just standing off Germany. And here's Gross. And it's Gross again. Gives the ball there to Wirtz. Back to Gross. Wirtz. And it's Rudiger. Gross. As it's Germany just playing side-by-side football. They're not really being closed down here at all. Ryan Christie just trying to put a bit of press on the German players in possession of the ball. And here's Kimmich. Long ball over on the far side. Sorry, that was Florian Wirtz. Long ball on the far side. Here's Rudiger. And it's Gross again. And here is Wirtz again. Gives the ball to Kimmich. Kimmich's ball is a poor one. He was looking for Musiala. And now Scotland can come away perhaps on the break. And that's a nice ball by John McGinn looking for Ryan Christie. But Ryan Christie is not able to control it. And it breaks away from him and lands straight at the feet of Jonathan Tah. And here's Wirtz again now. Germany just seem to have adjusted position. Wirtz taking a less deeper role and seems to have dropped back into a more central midfield role. Here is Mittelstadt. Tony Kroos. And it's over across to Mittelstadt that time. And it's Jonathan Tah. Here's Kroos. Kroos plays the ball forward and it only finds John McGinn. And now McGinn breaking forward. As the referee giving us out as a foul, the referee said no. Germany will play on with possession. And Kimmich gives the ball to Musiala. Musiala back to Kimmich. Kimmich just plays the ball. A quick 1-2 with Kai Havertz. Kimmich again. Back to Kroos. Kroos to Jonathan Tah. Tah, good ball out onto the left-hand side. And it's Mittelstadt again. Just drops the ball back to Tah. And to Rudiger. Rudiger midway inside the Scotland half. Rudiger with a shot. It's a good effort and forces a good save from goalkeeper Angus Gunn. Rudiger not afraid to have a go, Ethan.
No, well, we've seen it before. I think I remember seeing it when he was at Chelsea in games that he's played in the Premier League. He's not afraid to take a little dig from distance. And that wasn't a million miles away. It was actually angling towards the bottom left corner. And when Angus Gunn, is in the form that he's not in particularly bad form, but he did let in the first goal. So why not give it a go when you're Rudiger?
Yes, that's right. Corner down the left-hand side, and trying to see who it is who's over there taking it. It looks like it's Musiala. He swings it over the top, over everybody, and just kept in play by Kimmich and maintains possession. Down the right-hand side now, gives it to Gundogan. Gundogan to Mittelstadt, launches the ball in. Rudiger trying to get the header on. But breaking away now for Scotland is Robertson. He's body checked there, and that'll be a free kick. Tony Kroos just going over there with the cheeky body check. No question about that being a foul. He's still arguing against it, Ethan, but I think that's definitely a foul, isn't it?
Yeah, no question. It's a similar thing to when Ralston got the yellow card. It's taking one from the team to stop the counter because we know how quick Andy Robertson is when he breaks away down with the ball. Absolutely.
And here's Musiala, and now to Gundogan. Gundogan to Wirtz. Wirtz, edge of the area, cuts away and gives it back to Gundogan. Gundogan lifts the ball over the top. Was looking for Joshua Kimmich, but that was too far away from him. And the Barcelona midfielder and Germany captain all just goes behind for a goal kick. And that looks a lot more relaxed. Julian Nagelsmann, his contract has been extended beyond this competition now. There was some rumour to him potentially joining Manchester United as an option, or perhaps even a Klopp's replacement at Liverpool. But as it turned out, he chose to stay with the national team. And it's going to be a goal kick here. To be taken by Gunn. Launches the ball downfield. And up in the air there and cleared downfield. And picked up is Jonathan Tah. He just gives the ball to Rudiger. And he gives the ball to Kimmich. And that's a good ball that time. By Gross over down to the left-hand side, looking for Mittelstadt. The ball is played back to Gross. And now Jonathan Tah, Rudiger, just leaves it for Gross again, and he gives the ball to Musiala. And at the moment, Germany just knocking the ball around, and it's just at the moment it's too easy for them. There's no press from the Scots at all, and at the moment, Germany just it has to be said, Ethan. I don't want to sound disrespectful to Scotland, but it has been a very, very easy performance. There's been very little in terms of press on Germany at all, has there?
Yeah, it's disappointing. Obviously, they've changed things at half-time personnel-wise, even a little formation-wise, but they've not changed their mentality. And I think that was the main thing that needed a difference, because they weren't pressing and they weren't making it hard for Germany. And, well, they're still not. And, it's hard. You don't want to be disrespectful, but there seems to be a clear difference in level between these two sides. And Scotland are really going to have to step up for the next couple of games to try and prove that they can mix it with the big boys at the European Championship.
Yeah, Scotland, of course, they've appeared in the World Cup and the European Championship, and has never gotten past the first round of the competition. They do have a fairly young squad. The average age is 28.19. Germany have the oldest squad in the tournament at the moment, and the average age of the German squad is almost 29 years old. So they have the oldest squad at the tournament. Here's Mittelstadt. And the ball goes out to play. And the German fans celebrating right now. They seem very happy. And it's cleared away there that time by Jack Hendry. But only as far as Jonathan Tah, who lays it off to Gross. Gross gives it to Rudiger. Rudiger plays a smart ball down to Kroos, and Kroos tries to play the ball through the middle, but it seems to just avoid everybody. And it's picked up by Kieran Tierney. Tierney now down the left-hand side is looking to play the ball forward. That's a good ball by Tierney, but cutting across and making a challenge there is Jonathan Tah. Vital challenges. Germany look very switched on defensively. And you can see there, just gets across to Jonathan Tah to make the challenge there. And I have to say, having watched Germany for the best part of 38 years, I have to say this is they started to look a little bit like their old selves again. And the cross attempted to come in there from Mittelstadt, but that was blocked by Anthony Ralston, and it's going to be a corner. I'll get your thoughts on that in a minute, Ethan, just after this corner here. And it's going to be taken down the left-hand side. And Germany have got players in the middle here. It comes back to the edge of the area. The shot comes in, but it's blocked. And the shot by Gross, who scored that amazing goal against Greece in the final warm-up game last week, is Mittelstadt. And it's Musiala. And across there to Gross. Gross tries a shot. It's blocked that time by the substitute there, Grant Hanley. And here's Rudiger. Rudiger gives the ball to Kimmich. Kimmich now to Kai Havertz. Havertz, edge of the area, down the right-hand side. He plays the ball there to Gross. Gross to Tah. Tah gives the ball to Gross. To Musiala. Corner of the penalty area, left-hand side. Musiala cutting inside now, beats his man for pace, tries to get the cross, but that's a good challenge. It comes back to the edge of the penalty area. The cross comes in to the back post, and Florian Wirtz with a chance just balloons it over the crossbar, and Germany have thrown away a chance to go 4-0 up there. The ball was played back there to Mittelstadt there, who got the cross in, and Wirtz with the shot. And it looks like it might have just clipped the top of the bar, Ethan.
Yeah, it's a difficult one to take on the half volley there for Wirtz, but again, it's Musiala and Wirtz working the chances. That could and probably should be 4-0, to be honest with you. It's a glorious bit of football from the German side, and they're dangerous every single time they work their way into the Scotland box. I don't know if there's much that Scotland can do about this, to be honest, because that could be easily 4-0, and I'm sure there'll be more chances to come in the coming minutes.
Gunn launches it downfield. And as I was mentioning earlier, I've watched Germany for like 38 years, and the last few tournaments that Germany in, I've never seen them play so badly. And even some of the the friendlies after that, some very shocking defeats, including a 4-1 home defeat to Japan. What do you think Nagelsmann has done to get this team playing the way that they are? Because they've been outstanding today.
Well, perhaps it's a question of instilling confidence, first things first, because of the star players they've got. But as Musiala comes forward, sorry, I'll stop myself there.
Musiala just cutting in the penalty area now. Musiala gets across in. Oh, it's touched by Gunn, but only as far as Gundogan. And it was blocked there by Callum McGregor in a vital challenge. That very well could have been another goal for Germany. But they survived that onslaught. The pressure's still on. We'll go back to Ethan in a moment. The cross coming in this time by Kroos. And it's cleared away now by Scotland. And finally, John McGinn is just going to pick up the ball down the left-hand side. But he's just turned the ball over. And now Germany have the ball back again with Florian Wirtz. Wirtz gives the ball there to Mittelstadt. Mittelstadt to Gross. Gross gives the ball across there to Rudiger. Rudiger to Havertz. Rudiger gives the ball down the right-hand side there to Kimmich. Kimmich now drops the ball back there to Gundogan. Gundogan back to Rudiger. And now with Rudiger again down the right-hand side. Kimmich just holds the ball up here down the right-hand side level with a penalty area, gives it back to Rudiger. Rudiger now looking for options, just gives a short pass there to Wirtz, and it's now with Kimmich, and Kimmich gets a cross in, goes all the way through to the back post there to Mittelstadt. Mittelstadt turns, gets the shot away, but it's blocked there well, blocked by Ralston. But it's only really as far as Wirtz, and Germany still maintain possession. Wirtz with the long shot, but it's over the crossbar, and it's going to be a kick. So just carry on there. Sorry, Ethan, with your thought there.
Well, I think there's multiple key things, but the thing I was going to mention really is Nagelsmann seems to have done the thing that every top Germany team from international tournaments has done in the past, and he's identified the right workman-like players to fill out the roles where they don't have star players. They can produce star players like Musiala and Wirtz, but teams don't win tournaments without the likes of Andrich in midfield, Mittelstadt, Gross even, and these players filling out the side, doing their job to perfection as they always do. I remember in 2014, 10 years ago, when they won the World Cup, they had 4 centre-backs in the back 4 who just managed to do their job. That's all they did, and it won them a World Cup. Benedikt Höwedes is the man I remember, a former Schalke player, and that seems to be really what Nagelsmann's done here, identifying the right players to play alongside the stars.
Well, the ball is long now, and chasing this one is Kai Havertz, and Gunn comes in and just gets in front of Florian Wirtz to grab a hold of that ball and cuts out Havertz along the way. We've had a comment in the comment section from Isaac Hell Hunt, England Euro 2024 winners in Berlin. And Germany are about to bring on Nicholas Füllkrug, as if things aren't bad enough for Scotland right now. Nicholas Füllkrug has been free scoring for Germany ever since he's got into the international team. And Robertson just drops the ball back there to Tierney. So I suspect that will be a change for Havertz, I should think, Ethan.
Yeah, you'd think so. Just a straight-up change up front. And it offers a different perspective because Füllkrug is an aerial threat. He's a hold-up striker. He's a bit different to Kai Havertz. I think he's a stronger forward. And to me, that offers even more problems for Scotland because they've just got to think of something else to defend now.
Yes, and just as he was talking there, Jonathan Tah collides in with Ryan Christie with a very late challenge. And he picks up a yellow card for his troubles. So that's the second Germany player in the referee's notebook today. The other one, Antonio Rudiger. So we are going to see Leroy Sané and Füllkrug. And Havertz, of course, is one going off. Just trying to see who the other one will be for Sané. Probably Wirtz, I would think, but we'll see. I'll take a look at that in a moment. It is Wirtz. So Wirtz is off and Sané is on. And that's the third substitution for Germany. So they've taken 3 there now, and they're starting to, as you suggested, perhaps resting some of these other players that they want ready for the next game against Hungary on Wednesday evening. And Germany breaking away now with Joshua Kimmich. Germany 3-on-3 if they can hurry. Kimmich Gives the ball here to Sané. Sané, the third chance for the substitute. Well, what an opportunity for Leroy Sané. Ethan, he should have done better than that, shouldn't he?
He really should have. I think he's gone for finesse with the curl to get it round gun, but he's mishit it. It's gone into the floor. It's weak. It's tame. It's not the best effort. Not the best way to introduce yourself, but of course, not really any pressure on that. They are 3-0 up, so I'm sure he'll get more chances, Leroy Sané.
The ball is cleared away there, but nipping in is Rudiger to win the header. McGinn is down, and it looks like the referee has given a foul. Been heavy, a lot of criticism of referees as well. What do you think of Clement Turpin's performance today? I think he's actually done quite well.
I agree. I actually tend to agree. I think the other thing that I was going to mention in terms of referees, I think it's the Premier League where the criticism is mainly. I think in Europe, referees are usually doing a very good job. You see, there's no real problems in the Champions League, and he's done a great job. He's not really given out too many cards for fouls, especially early on. He's allowed the game to flow. I mean, that's not really a good thing for Scotland. But I think, yeah, he's done a very good refereeing job so far.
Here's Joshua Kimmich now, midway inside the Scotland half of the field. He gives the ball to Pascal Gross. Gross gives the ball there to Mittelstadt. Mittelstadt. And here's Musiala. Musiala drops the ball back to Kroos. Back to Mittelstadt. Mittelstadt goes to the cross to the back post, and it's just headed out of play by Callum McGregor. And it's going to be another corner to Germany. 3-0 up. They are looking for the cherry on the cake here to get their European Championships off to the right start. And the referee there just trying to just make sure that there's order in the penalty area. And taking the corner is Tony Kroos. Looks like he may outswing this one as Rudiger goes down and got a challenge from John McGinn, and John McGinn's trying to explain that big man shouldn't be going down so easily. But just a ticking off by Clement Turpin, saying he doesn't want any more of it. And the corner will eventually be taken here by Tony Kroos. Tony Kroos outswings this one, and just flicked over the head there, comes right back to the edge of the area to Mittelstadt with a shot. And it just goes over the crossbar, and Mittelstadt just caught it sweetly on the half volley, and over the crossbar it went. But worth the effort, Ethan?
I think definitely. He had an opening in front of him. I think he's caught it incredibly well. Unfortunately, it's probably caught it too well in the end, actually, there, Mittelstadt. But definitely worth the effort. Why not when you're 3-0 up and comfortable in front of a home crowd, eh?
Yes, absolutely. Action on the Scotland bench. Looks like we've got Billy Gilmore coming on and Kenny McLean, who will be making an appearance very, very shortly. We will find out for who in a moment once the substitutes have been announced. But right now, the referee has just blown up for a free kick. And here we go. Substitutes coming up now. So Callum McGregor is coming off, which I think is interesting because I think he's been one of Scotland's better players in this first half. I think he's put in a very workmanlike performance. And John McGinn is the other substitute. So John McGinn and Callum McGregor go off. And coming on is Kenny McLean and Billy Gilmore, wearing number 14 and 23 respectively. Thoughts on that substitution?
It's interesting. I would say that the two players who've really shown the most for Scotland in terms of trying to break out and counter-attack have both just come off the pitch. But I also think that when you introduce Billy Gilmore, there's an assumption there that you're going to have the ball because he's a technician on the ball. So we'll see how that works out.
Free kick to Scotland. It's taken quickly, swung into the penalty area and just seems to have avoided everybody and gone out for a throw-in on the far side, right by the corner flag. And we have 23 minutes left. And Germany are 3-0 up and looking for their win in their first game. And, of course, another win against Hungary will, of course, see them through, no doubt. And here is Musiala now. Musiala tries to play through to Gundogan. It breaks loose and a shot and it's in! What a strike! And I think it's Nicholas Fulkrug. Oh, I say, that is an absolutely stunning strike. And Germany go 4-0 up. And it's Nicholas Fulkrug And I got to tell you, that is one of the best strikes I've seen in a long time. And Ethan, your thoughts on that one?
That is an absolute stunner, Paul. He's caught that so beautifully, Füllkrug there. Not been on the pitch too long, but my word, I mean, what an impact he's had already. Half volley, top right-hand corner, not a chance for Angus Gunn. Not a hope or prayer in that goal. And Scotland, it just gets worse for them. But Germany absolutely flying 4-0. Goal difference, confidence, everything in their favour in this opening match. They've scored potentially one of the goals of the group stage there. Oh, my word, what a goal.
Yes, and that is Füllkrug's 12th goal in 16 games for the national team. So he is just scoring for fun right now. And it is 4-0, and what a strike that was. And here's Robertson just chasing the ball now. He tries to get the cross in. It's just flicked away by Rudiger, but picking up the ball here is McLean. And McLean just trying to get it into the corner, and he's not been successful, and the ball just rolls behind for a goal kick to Manuel Neuer, who has had, well, literally nothing to do this entire game, really. It has to be said. He's not been forced into a single save. I'm not sure, at least in this game, I don't believe that Scotland have had a single shot on goal.
I don't recall one. They've not been forward much. I don't even know if they've had, well, have they had a single shot, let alone on target? I'm not too sure. The sad thing, of course, about that Füllkrug goal is it does put paid to my pre-match of prediction as well of 3-1. But shout out to all the people in the chat who've said things like 5-0 Germany because it's looking that way now. But no, I don't remember a shot on target from Scotland at all. Whether or not they'll have one all game, I don't even know, Paul.
Well, here's Leroy Sané right now down the right-hand side for the Germans as they are looking for more. Sané drops the ball back to Kimmich. And Sané, again, just on the edge of the penalty area. It's Paul who was looking for Gundogan, but Gundogan was not going to find that, and it goes behind for a goal kick. Nick has just commented in the private chat and said he doesn't think they have. Me, myself, I don't think they have either, but that strike was something else by Füllkrug. He picked up that, and there was no chance any goalkeeper anywhere was saving that. It was right into the top corner, and the German fans having something to celebrate at a major tournament for the first time in a little while, and they are starting to look like the old Germany, and they are sending a message, a clear message out to everybody else in this tournament that Germany is here to win it. And here is the number 14 for Scotland there, just unable to get that away. That's Billy Gilmore. And it's won back by Germany, and it's back to the goalkeeper, Manuel Neuer. Neuer just playing a simple ball to Kimmich. And that ball plays across here to Kroos. And Leroy Sané dropped it back to Kroos. And in about, you've got the unenviable task, Ethan, in about 15 to 18 minutes time of choosing a player of the match. I mean, who do you choose on this German team? Thomas Muller as well now is readying himself to come on for Germany. Good chance to bring him on, as Germany can, he's still capable of getting one or two goals, as is Kimmich. Kimmich plays the ball across there to Gross. Gross again. Down to Gundogan. Gundogan to Gross. And across to Kroos. Kroos sends the ball down the right-hand side to Kimmich. Kimmich lays it off to Leroy Sané. Sané there. Oh, he's got Robertson in front of him. Robertson does very, very well to win that back. And he just pulls the ball back there, and it's cleared away, but only as far as Rudiger and Germany maintain possession. And here's Kroos again. Just as a quick 1-2 there with Gundogan and Gross this time. The ball is down the right-hand side now to Joshua Kimmich. Kimmich swings the ball in, and it's headed behind there. And it's going to be a corner. Scotland, the substitution is being made. Grant Hanley just gave away that corner. And it looks like it's Jamal Musiala who is making way for Thomas Muller. And Ethan, your thoughts on Musiala's performance today?
I think, well, in my opinion, and this is a little bit of a spoiler, but he's been the best player on the pitch. He's been incredible with his dribbling ability. It was a great shot for the goal. I think it's difficult to pick out the Germany attack, but he has been the man that's really caused the most problems for the Scottish defence. Saving him for the Hungary game is probably a smart decision, but almost a little bit of a shame that he's leaving the pitch for me, because I'd have liked to have seen him for the rest of the match.
Yeah, I agree with you. He's been outstanding, hasn't he? Kimmich gets the ball back off Kroos. Kimmich is he going to try and get the crossing? It's back with Kroos. Kroos plays the ball into Tar. Tar swings the ball in. It goes right across the Scottish defence, all the way back to Kimmich. And the official has given offside, I think. So it's going to be a free kick to Scotland. If the score stays the same, this is 4-0 down. You've got Hungary and Switzerland still to play. Do you think Scotland can still get out of this group?
I think the best hope they've got is that third place going through, but the rest of the group is tough. I mean, Switzerland are always good in tournaments. They always get out of the groups, it seems, and cause some upsets. Hungary are a very solid team. They caused some problems at the last Euros. I think they were in a group with Germany last time out as well and did quite well there. So Scotland, I don't know, after tonight, their confidence will take a knock, and it's going to be really tough for them to get out of this group.
Well, it's headed up into the air by Thomas Muller that time, and it's won back in the middle of the park by Billy Gilmour, and Germany do win the ball back. Gilmour gives the ball away that time, and it's given to Kroos. Kroos gives it to Kroos. Gross and Kroos. I'm sorry if I get those two mixed up. Kroos is with the ball now, and the ball is given back to Jonathan Tah. Pascal Gross, and it's Thomas Muller. Muller, corner of the penalty area, right hand side, gets across, and it's Fulkrug again. Oh, what a thing! It's saved, and it's Fulkrug again. And well, Nicholas Fulkrug comes on, scores 2 goals, and Germany have just put the cherry on top of the cake. On 76 minutes, it's Germany 5, Scotland 0. And I have to say, looking at this goal, the cross coming in here, Fulkrug may just be in an offside position, actually. They may rule this out, but it was a good save by the goalkeeper initially, but it just looped into the net. Perhaps the goalkeeper a little bit unlucky, because it did bounce off Fulkrug's leg, but I actually think he might be in an offside position. I don't know if this goal is going to stand. No, the goal is ruled out. It's offside. It did look offside on the replay, I think, Ethan, didn't it?
Yeah, Fulkrug just had a foot offside. It's unfortunate for him. I mean, if that had been given, I don't think it could get any more calamitous for Scotland, because not only are they 4-0 down and a man down, but that is a poor defensive error. I think they've gotten away with that one, to be honest with you. If Fulkrug hadn't have been offside, you've got to ask serious questions of that defence. But yeah, he's just got a foot off, and Germany's 5th is chalked off. But I wouldn't bet against Fulkrug scoring again. He looks like a real danger up front.
Well, the final substitute for Scotland, Kieran Tierney, is coming off for Scott McKenna. But yes, defensively, I was about to say that, Ethan, they were the architects of their own downfall on that one. It was offside, so the goal doesn't stand. But again, it is pretty poor defending that. And the goalkeeper now is going to take the free kick, Angus Gunn. We've got 13 minutes left, and it's cleared downfield. Heads go up in the air, and it's picked up by Ryan Christie, but the ball had just gone out of play, and it's going to be a throw-in to Germany. As we look at the goal scorers, Wirtz, Musiala, Havertz from the penalty spot, and Nicholas Fulkrug are the scorers for Germany in this game. As Rudiger plays the ball down the right to Kimmich. Kimmich, infield here to Gross. Gross inside the centre circle for Germany, looking for options left and right. Gives the ball to Rudiger. Rudiger to Gross. Gross swings the ball in, and the header is won there by McKenna. and it only goes as far as Sané, but Sané gives the ball away to Ryan Christie, and here's Andrew Robertson, who drops the ball back to McKenna, and McKenna goes all the way back to the goalkeeper, Angus Gunn, as Scotland, Billy Gilmore now just almost gave the ball away, and they do give the ball away as Tony Kroos just gets in the way of that, and there is a foul there on, just can't quite see who that was. It was by Scott McTominay, but I'm just not quite sure. Maximilian Mittelstadt is a player that's been fouled, and it's going to be a free kick to Germany. The free kick is taken quickly, and it's Mittelstadt again. Plays the ball over to the right-hand side to Joshua Kimmich. Back to Gross and to Kimmich. And here is Gross again. Gross plays the ball over onto the far side. It's headed back in by Mittelstadt, and it's headed towards the far post and finally knocked behind by Andrew Robertson. But once again, Germany threatening. Mittelstadt's headed to the back post there. Was helped along by Thomas Muller and knocked behind by Robertson because Kimmich was certainly lurking with intent. And it's going to be another corner to Germany, which Tony Kroos is going to take, and there's 11 minutes left. It's outswung and it's headed away, but not really far enough, only as far as Mittelstadt with a shot, but it's well over the crossbar, and the pressure just keeps coming from Germany, Ethan.
Yeah, well, first things first, we've seen that Mittelstadt effort before, but the pressure was building more and more. Germany always looking dangerous. You've got to ask, maybe Thomas Muller, could he have been a little more selfish and tried to bring that down and have an effort there? But the flick on was still dangerous. It caused Scotland to think, and it won them a corner. And ultimately, when you're 4-0 up, you can't complain too much. I was just also thinking back to you talking about how unstoppable Füllkrug's effort was. I've just seen a stat about the speed of the ball going into the net, and I can tell you that it was actually quick enough to get a speeding ticket on the Autobahn just outside of Munich at 110 kilometers an hour, which is ridiculous.
Well, Germany had just made their final substitution. Tony Kroos has come off, and Emre Can is on for Germany. He stepped in as a replacement for Pavlovic as he picked up an injury. And so Pavlovic stepped out with the injury, and Emre Can was called up at the last minute. Here come Germany again now, and it's Thomas Muller. Down the left-hand side, he swings across in, and up there is Gundogan, and should he have done better? What a chance for Gundogan. Maybe he just couldn't angle his body correctly to get on the end of that, but that was a super ball in by Thomas Muller.
Yeah, a dangerous delivery, just ever so slightly out of Gundogan's reach, even on the turn, but Germany, you've got to give them credit. They're still looking at turning the screw and still looking at scoring. They're 4-0 up. There's not long left. They could easily conserve their energy for future games, but they're still looking to add to the goal difference.
Well, Lawrence Shankland is coming off, and it's actually Scotland's final substitution. Lawrence Shankland is coming on, and Ryan Christie is coming off. So both sides have made their allotted 5 substitutions. Obviously, it doesn't work like the Premier League. You're not limited to attempts and substitutions. Seems to be just 5 substitutions. But we have 9 minutes to go here. It's Germany 4, Scotland 0. And Angus Gunn just clears the ball downfield. And it's picked up again, though, by Germany with the header by Kroos. But here is Robertson. Robertson trying to just find McLean. McLean has the ball. Oh, that's a fine ball by McLean. And just over on the far side there is Ralston. He tries to play the ball into the middle, but between Jonathan Tart and Rudiger, Germany get the ball away. And here's Emre Can. Plays the ball now to Leroy Sané. Germany on the break. Here's Sané down the right-hand side. Gets in there, does Sané. He's trying to cut in the penalty area. He's under pressure now by 2 Scotland players. And finally, it's won back by Robertson and cleared away. And all the way back into the Germany half of the field to Antonio Rudiger. Ethan, just how well have Germany played today?
Germany have been absolutely outstanding. They've done exactly what they've needed to do, completely snuff out any real hope for Scotland. They've choked them in their own half. They've put the goals away. They've really done a comfortable host's opening night performance. They've been excellent. But you've got to say as well, that little bit spark there on the counter-attack from Scotland, where's that been all night? I mean, the players that are on now, maybe it's their job to prove Steve Clarke wrong with the starting lineup and get their name on the team sheet for the next match.
Sonny just tries a shot there, but it's right down the throat of Angus Gunn. And in about 5 minutes, Ethan, I'll be asking you for your player of the match. Tough choice tonight. Very, very tough choice. I don't envy you. And then Joe Smoker's just stepped in and said it would be 4-0. No, you didn't, Joe. Nice try, though. And the ball is cleared downfield, and it's just picked up there. And that's brought down well by Lawrence Shankland. And it's now with the other substitute, Scott McKenna. Here's Robertson. Robertson gives it to Gilmore. Back to Robertson, as Scotland trying to enjoy a little bit of possession for the time being. McKenna just drops the ball back there to the other substitute, Grant Hanley. Germany had dispossessed him, though, and now they're on the break. And it's Mittelstadt. Mittelstadt tries to pull the ball in the middle. He might have a second bite at the cherry. No. Grant Hanley clears it for Scotland and out of play. And it's going to be a throw-in for Germany. Steve Clarke looking the face of a very frustrated man right now. And here is Pascal Gross. Gross gives the ball there to the number 6, Joshua Kimmich, who lays it off to Leroy Sané. Sané cutting into the penalty area. Sané goes down, but he's on his. He's claiming a penalty, but that's not going to be given. That wasn't a penalty. That would be ridiculous. Just take a look at this again. Just cuts inside the penalty area. Yes, it was come off the Scottish defender last, McLean, I think. But they've got a goal kick regardless, I think. So with 5 minutes to go, Scotland, what do they have to do to recover in their next game against Switzerland?
Well, it's difficult because it's a different opponent and they'll have to play differently. Sorry, I'll just pause myself there.
It's Sané now. Sané coming forward, tries a shot, does Sané, but he blazes it over the crossbar. That's not one of his better efforts.
No, not one of his better efforts. But in terms of Switzerland and Hungary, it's interesting because they'll have to play differently against different sides, obviously. But just being more positive when they're not on the ball, they sat in and allowed themselves to be got at tonight. And Germany, if any team at this Euros are going to unpick your defence with the kind of pass masters they've got, it's going to be Germany. So it was very clearly a wrong tactic to start with, to be honest. And I think Scotland just have to be more positive when they're not on the ball, because we haven't really seen them on it, and it's hard to comment on that, to be honest.
Well, that's so. The ball is cleared downfield, and it's picked up by McLean. McLean goes down under pressure, but the ball goes out of play, and it's going to be a throw-in. As we take a look at the Scotland fans now, it all looks rather depressing at this time for them. But they'll be looking to try to get something from this game. And we'll see what happens here as they have Germany have a throw in here. It's actually a free kick has been given instead, and Andrew Robertson with a free kick now for Scotland. As they look for a goal back, swung in, and the heads go up. It's bouncing around there, and it takes a deflection, and it's in. And Scotland have scored, and I think it's an own goal by Rudiger. It looks like it took a deflection. The free kick came in. And it looks like it may have taken a deflection off Antonio Rudiger that put that into his own net. We'll just take a look and see. McLean put his arms up in the air. The cross comes in. I don't think there's anything wrong with the goal. It's flicked on, and well, it looks like that was McLean's goal. Let me have a look. Flicked on. Oh no, McLean headed it onto Rudiger, and Rudiger just flicked the ball into the net. It's VAR are checking it for offside, but there's nothing wrong with that goal. It was headed on by McLean, and then Rudiger diverted it over Manuel Neuer and into his own net, and that will be frustrating for the German centre-back. But Scotland pull a goal back, so that's something for them.
It's something for them, and for the first time tonight, they've really asked questions of the Germany defence. They've done away with that bizarre routine where McGinn stood on the goal line, even though it was a deep free kick, and they've actually tried to ask questions, and they've got a goal from it. It's unfortunate for Rudiger. He's just tried to get in the way and ended up with a really powerful header towards his own goal. It's also unfortunate for Neuer, who was heading towards an easy clean sheet, and that's all in tatters now. But yeah, fair play to Scotland. They've not completely given up, and they've asked questions there, and they've got a goal for it.
Yes, and that's got them back into a consolation goal for them, but it's not going to affect anything in terms of the result of the game, I don't think. And what I'm going to do here, the next stoppage of play, I am going to give the player of the match. And just some comments going on in the comment section. Jay Cartwright says his man of the match is the referee. And unlucky own goal for Scotland. That's just one of them things, isn't it, for media, radio and jingles. So the next stoppage in play, we'll take your player of the match. Ethan, at the moment, now it's Kimmich. Kimmich has the ball, and he plays the ball down the right-hand side to Sané. Sané trying to get away from Robertson. And Gross wins the ball back, though. Pascal Gross, he tries to get the crossing all the way over to Thomas Muller. Muller lays the ball off there to Pascal Gross. And it's Mittelstadt back to Gross. Gross swings the ball into the penalty area, but it goes all the way over to the far side to Leroy Sané. Corner of the penalty area, right-hand side. He gets the ball again. A quick pass just off Emre Can. And here is Rudiger back to Can. Can, he's about 30 yards out, and he plays the ball across to Jonathan Tah. Tah to Mittelstadt, to Thomas Muller. Corner of the penalty area, left-hand side this time. Pascal Gross. Back to Mittelstadt. Mittelstadt gets across there. No, it's flicked on there by Fulkrug, looking for a second goal, and cleared out of play by Billy Gilmour. It's going to be a throw-in. And let's have your player of the match, please.
Yeah, it's a tough choice. In truth, it could have been any one of the German forwards, and I have to say that comment saying about the referee also isn't the worst shout. But for me, the player that's been on another planet tonight with his dribbling, the finish for his goal, his passing, and the threat he's constantly been, Jamal Musiala is my man of the match for Germany. What a player. I'm privileged to have witnessed the performance tonight.
All right, thank you very much. So today's player of the match, as sponsored by Coventry Services, goes to Germany's number 10, Jamal Musiala. We have 3 minutes of stoppage time. In this at the end of this game. It's a throw into Germany, and it's taken by Kimmich. Kimmich gives it to Rudiger, and then Kimmich does a little flick with the outside of the boot back to Manuel Neuer, and Neuer just clears the ball forward to Mittelstadt. Mittelstadt holds the ball up and gives it back to Emre Can, and he's dispossessed now. And here's McLean. McLean for Scotland drops the ball back here. It's Billy Gilmour looking for options. He's trying to bring Robertson more into the game, but the ball is long and it goes all the way through to Manuel Neuer. And time ticks down here. We don't have much time left. So we have about 2 minutes now left in this one, and it's looking like an opening game victory for Germany. Here is Kimmich. Corner of the penalty area, right-hand side, across to Sané. Sané. And down the left-hand side to Thomas Muller. Muller looking for options, gives the ball back there to Gross. Gross swings it into the back post. Robertson just gets a touch on, but it's picked up by Joshua Kimmich over by the corner flag. Kimmich holds the ball up. He'll be quite happy to do that. It just then gives the ball to Emre Can, back to Jonathan Tah, and now to Gross. And Mittelstadt to Gross again. He's under pressure right now by Scott McTominay, but just turns away from the Manchester United midfielder and gives the ball to Jonathan Tah. And now to Rudiger. Rudiger plays the ball down the right-hand side to Joshua Kimmich. Kimmich pulls the ball back to Sané. Sané just cutting away there now, but Sané still got the ball. He gives the ball to Emre Can. Can now to Gundogan, the captain. Back to Sané, middle of the field here to Rudiger. And here's Sané. Sané now attacking the penalty area. Down to Mittelstadt. Can Mittelstadt get the cross in? He holds the ball up and he drops the ball back here. And it's now with Sané. Sane to Muller. Muller drops it back nicely. And it's Emre Can with a shot, and it's a goal! Emre Can scores for Germany. And it's 5-1. The substitute puts the final point on this performance by Germany today. Emre Can in 93 minutes. It's 5-1. And what a wonderfully well-worked goal, Ethan.
Yeah, well work. Still toying with the defence even this late on in the game. It's a pretty good finish for Emre Can. If I'm honest, I think Angus Gunn could have done better again, but it's pretty well placed into the bottom corner. There's not a lot more he could have done, and it's a nice way to round out the game for Germany. End on a positive note even after that own goal, and it rounds out what has been a really good night for them. Emre Can getting on the score sheet. I wonder how many people actually put a bet on that before the tournament.
Well, not me. I have to be honest, not me at all. I didn't have him scoring at all, but that is a really nice curling finish into the goalkeeper's left-hand corner. I don't know whether Gunn could have done better. I mean, he got his hand to it. I think he'll be disappointed that he wasn't able to stop it, but it did take a bit of a deflection along the way from Grant Hanley as well.
Yeah, it did take a little deflection. It wasn't maybe the easiest save, but he did get a hand to it, so he could get there.
And that's it. It's full time, and Germany celebrate a opening day victory over Scotland, 5-1. And the performance by Germany today has been absolutely sparkling. And well, Ethan, give us your closing thoughts on this.
Well, it's not the perfect night for Germany because that would have come with a clean sheet, but it couldn't have gone much better for them. They've sent out a message. They are a dangerous team to play against hosting this tournament. 5 goals scored on the opening night. I mean, they weren't really given that much of a stern opposition from Scotland. I think that was a little bit of a disappointing performance from the Tartan Army, but there's a lot to take from this game for Germany. They can't improve on a lot. They've probably punched their ticket through to the next round already with that, just on goal difference alone. Scotland, a lot to improve on, but certainly a very entertaining opening night to watch alongside you, Paul.
Thank you very much for your co-commentary and your thoughts tonight, Ethan. Certainly appreciate working with you again. So 5-1 the final score here. Goals by Florian Wirtz on 10 minutes, Jamal Musiala on 19. Kai Havertz added a third from the penalty spot on 45. Nicholas Fulkrug scored on 68 minutes before an own goal by Anthony Rudiger pulled the goal back for Scotland. But that wasn't enough for Germany on 93 minutes. Emre Can put the point on this 5-1 victory for Germany, and that is a strong performance by the Germans today. They have done absolutely brilliant. So full time here, 5-1 in Munich. Back to you, Nicholas.
Thanks, Paul. The Pilsners will be well deserved for Germany after their victory. For Germany after their victory against Scotland, and for Scotland they really have to up their game. And Russ, what were your thoughts on the second half?
It just was completely like the first. Germany in control for the entire 90 minutes tonight. Yes, I know Scotland had a player sent off just before half time, which can make it a lot easier for the opposition to play against them, having an extra body in there. But like Ethan said, Germany will probably be disappointed not to keep a clean sheet and go to a fantastic start by scoring 5 and keeping a clean sheet. But when you look at it overall, Germany can be very, very proud. Scotland were very, very poor tonight. Yes, I know they got the goal. There was an own goal and then from Antonio Rudiger of Real Madrid, formerly of Chelsea. However, Scotland didn't really create an awful lot in this game tonight. If they are to get anything out of this remaining 2 group games, they really need to pull their ideas up. If they continue to play like that, they will not have a very good performance going forward, and I can see them getting knocked out very, very easily, probably not even making the third place, one of the third place teams going through. So Scotland really need to put their ideas up, need to bounce back in the next game. But if they don't, then it's curtains for them. And I can only see Scotland going one way after that performance, and that's going out to the tournament to the group stages. Really, they've not really turned up. Yes, the fans have turned up in numbers after what I've seen all over social media this afternoon. and into the early evening as well, or even yesterday when they were out in Germany. But the team, yes, they're there in spirit, but they've not turned up to perform, and a performance like that will only send them one way, and that's heading out of the tournament.
Another word I would have to use is down, because Switzerland and Hungary are no slouch either. But all I can say is, I've said it before and I'll say it again: Germany was just engineered to perfection.
They were, Nicholas, and you look at how well that Germany team was drilled up tonight. They had likes of Thomas Muller. Yes, I know he's getting on a bit now, but Thomas Muller is a really good player. You've got him on the bench, and to come on late on and get involved in the game late on, if you can rest players likes of the caliber of Thomas Muller, then you're going to have a really good. And like Mike said, Emre Can, good to see him on the score sheet. Up until a couple of days ago, he wasn't even in the squad, but then Pavlovic pulled out due to an injury. I think he was in the end, and Emre Can got called up to the squad very late into the squad, and then to come off the bench, having only been known he was going to be part of the squad I think it was 2 or 3 days ago now, and to put a performance like that from the bench, grabbing himself a goal, having just come on null, and looked tidy in possession when he did have the ball before scoring, can only be a good thing for Julian Nagelsmann going into the next game, because if they win the next game, can play the likes of Emre Can, potentially Leroy Sané from the start in the final group game, resting the key players likes of Musiala, Wirtz, Gundogan, Havertz, Andrich. And for me, Andrich got subbed off at half time because he was on that yellow card and they didn't want to lose him in the game, and that was a smart substitution for Pascal Gross coming on. Gross playing in that midfield today did a really good job. We know what he can do. He's done it for Brighton at times in the season, and over the past couple of seasons played a brilliant role for Brighton, and he played a brilliant role today, did Pascal Gross, when he came off of the bench tonight, Nicholas, as well.
Yes, he did. But yes, he did. So before we go any. So before we wrap up or go any further, just take a look at our games for tomorrow and Sunday. Reminder: tomorrow we will have Spain against Croatia at 5:00 with Russ and Paul, and at the later time of 8:00, Italy, the reigning champions, take on Albania, and Russ will be presenting with Paul in the main commentary seat alongside Mike Harneman. So turning to those games, actually, how do you see them go?
Well, for me, Nicholas, if I'm doing a game myself, I don't normally comment on what I think the score's going to be or what the score's going to be, but I think we'll have a good game. We know what Croatia's like in tournaments. Spain are a really good side as well. Good young squad this time around for Spain. Croatia have got good players in the squad, like some Kramaric and Modric in there, Kovacic as well. So some good players in there. Spain have got some good players in their squad as well. And then Italy, reigning champions of the Euros, won it against England in the last competition 4 years ago. And for me, when I look at that Italy squad, yes, they've lost Chiellini, who's now retired, and well, they've got still got some good players in the squad of Italy. I can see Italy getting the job done against Albania. A comfortable victory for them. I'm going to say it could be about 3 or 4-0 for Italy against Albania. Although Albania have got some decent players themselves, so it may not be as comfortable or as one-sided as I think in there. But I'm hoping for, in my first game of the tournament, on commentary-wise, I'm hoping for a very good game, which we'll see Spain probably come out on top for me, I think. I think Spain will come out on top. I'm not going to give you an actual score prediction, but I think Spain will probably just edge it. I think it'll be a lot tighter than what we've seen in this opening game tonight with those two tomorrow afternoon. And I think Hungary will probably put up a fight against Switzerland in the other Group A game, which kicks off at 2 o'clock tomorrow. Unfortunately, we're unable to bring you that one here on the commentary hub. but I think Switzerland will probably get through 2-1 winners in that one as well. I think Spain will just edge it against Croatia, and I think Italy will win as well. So there's the predictions. I think those games will go, but I'm not going to give a score prediction for Spain Croatia with me doing the main commentary tomorrow. So hopefully you can join us for that one. We'll be on air from 10 to 5 tomorrow evening to join us for that one, and then we'll be back on air around about 10 to 8 for the Italy versus Albania game. So make sure you join us for that one there as well.
And also a reminder for Sunday, it is Slovenia against Denmark at 5 o'clock. Join Jack Hesson for that one. And then the big one, Serbia against England with myself at 8 o'clock.
Yes, and I just want to say as well, Nicholas, on the England game, if you want to listen to some interviews with some of the England players, if you head over to the YouTube channel of England, the official England YouTube channel, they're doing a show while they're out in Germany. They've done it at the past couple of tournaments as well, called The Lions Den with Josh Denzel. Really good show that. Some good interviews on there. They had Emil Eskier on earlier today with Ollie Watkins and Lewis Stunk as well. So we get a couple of players on each day of the line. 3 shows up there already. They'll probably do one. I think they've got another one tomorrow at some point during the afternoon. So make sure you check that out as well to get some behind the scenes news from some of the players. And there will be some interviews and going out on national media as well and in the papers and online ahead of the game against Serbia. And let's hope this is the year that England finally end all those years of hurt and bring the trophy home and go one better this time around after last year. But whatever happens, it'll be a fantastic game. And Mike says his predictions. I'll just bring you these, Nicholas, while we've got him here. He says Switzerland 2, Hungary 0, Switzerland 2, and he reckons Spain 3, Croatia 1. And he says he'll tell us it's Italy versus Albania prediction when he joins us on commentary for that one. Like I said, we'll be on air from 7:50 for that one tomorrow evening. Join myself and Paul from 4:50 for Spain against Croatia as we bring you their opening match of Group B tomorrow early evening, and then tomorrow evening concluding Group B for you as well. So, without further ado, I'll pass back over to Nicholas to wrap up the show.
Thanks, Russ. And also thank you to Ethan and Paul for that riveting commentary. Germany could just do no wrong. Germany could do no wrong against Scotland, who now have to go away and regroup and really think up fresh ideas, because as I mentioned, they'll have it tough against Switzerland and Hungary. That just about wraps up our coverage. As Russ mentioned, do join us again tomorrow. Until then, good night.